Hello there. Hello. Good morning and welcome to another week. Welcome to another Monday. We're excited to serve you your favorite breakfast on television. It is the AM show. I am MFA Akosia Adati, and as always, we shall bring you some news updates. We shall as well bring you some sports update. But today we're going a little deeper. But for news review this morning, we have Professor Ezekiel Norte, Department of Statistics and Actuarial Science, University of Ghana, and as well Dixon Cherdua, his MP Brekum West, and as well Kofi Ameya, member of Ken A. Japan Communications team. Now we shall get into some details later, as you may have heard that 15 dead, including 11 children aged between 2 and 14, after a boat capsized near Ketekrachi in the Volta Oti region, I should say, and as well police officer with the FPU on duty as Nyage barrier over the Gbingiri conflict in Sola district have attacked and shot some young driver carrying goods from Tamale to Sola. So we shall get into all of that, and as well in the Eastern region, the Eastern Regional South Regional Police Command has arrested at least 2 suspects for allegedly plotting to assassinate a chief in the Eastern region, and both suspects are currently in police custody, assisted in investigation. We'll get into all of that. A lot happening over the week. It was quite a busy one. But onto the big story, quite an exciting news for Ghana. Ghana has sealed its place at the 2026 World Cup with a hard-fought 1-0 victory over Comoros in their final Group 1 qualifier. Now, the feat makes Otto Addo the first coach to lead Ghana to back-to-back World Cup qualifications, also having masterminded the team's return to the global stage of the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. You want to stay with us because it's going to be quite a busy one today on the show. As always, please stay for the news. You're watching the AM show. Time now to bring you some updates in the news. Now first, the Energy Minister John Abdullahi Jinapor has warned that power theft and illegal connections are undermining government's efforts to expand electricity access, particularly in regions like Savannah, where only 68% of communities are connected to the national grid compared to the national average of 90%. He made the remarks while commissioning 13 newly connected communities under the Rural Electrification Expansion Project in the Central Gonja district, urging residents to protect public power assets and report illegal connections. Martina Bugi reports.
National target for electricity connection in Ghana is 99%. With this, government is working to ensure more communities are hooked to the grid. The minister said plans are underway to connect the remaining communities in the region next year. Speaking at a short ceremony to commission the project, the Minister for Energy and Green Transition, John Abdullahi Jinapor, said the NDC government target is to achieve universal access to electricity in the country.
After this 30, we'll complete the remaining 7 and fix the dates and commission the remaining 7. So that the first 20 will be done. Today, Ghana has almost 90% access to electricity. It's one of the highest in Africa, but our target is to achieve universal access to electricity. That's we want to achieve about 99% access of electricity in Ghana. The Savannah region is amongst the lowest in the country. And so to ensure that there's equity, we have to work very hard and bring up Savannah region. It's about 68%, while the whole country is about 90%. So we have to do a lot more for the region to catch up.
The managing director of NEDCO, John Okanyamwa, urged the beneficiary communities to pay their bills and avoid tampering with meters.
It is your responsibility to make sure that you pay for the power that you use. Power is not free. Power is expensive now. And so you ought to prepare yourself to be sure that whatever bill that we give you, you pay for it. It is also your responsibility to ensure that the network is not tampered with.
Some assembly members whose communities were hooked to the grid expressed their gratitude to the minister and government.
This is a great relief to our people, for electricity comes with a lot of benefits. Most of these communities usually do not have access to the electricity, and so they travel as far as to Sankpana to have access to electricity. Our mothers, our young sisters, they go there to grind our grains. Today, as they are being connected to the national grid, it's going to open up a lot of job opportunities for us, the youth.
I'm here to express our happy about what minister has come in here to do for us.
And as well in the news this morning, the Eastern South Regional Police Command has foiled an alleged assassination plot against a chief in the Eastern region. 2 suspects are now in police custody. According to the police, the suspects Emilia Ekwia Aso and Butokwa Seth were arrested after an intelligence-led operation uncovered a plan to kill the chief ahead of his first royal durbar at Achim Kwabin on October 17, 2025. I shall now bring you the details of that story. The police statement on the screen shortly. Now says that police arrest 2 suspects for alleged plots to assassinate chief. First, the Eastern South Regional Police Command has arrested 2 suspects allegedly plotting to assassinate a chief in the Eastern region. The suspects, identified as Emilia Ekwia Aso and Butokwa Seth, were arrested following an intelligence-led operation. The arrest followed the uncovering of a plan to eliminate the chief ahead of his first royal durbar scheduled for 17 October 2025 at Achim Kwabin, and as well acting on intelligence received on 11 October 2025, a police intelligence lead infiltrated the suspects' network. During the operation, suspect Emilia Ekwia Aso offered 50,000 Ghana cedis to undercover officers to kill the chief and another woman alleged to be in line up for installation as Queen Mother. She further instructed suspect Butokwa Seth to assist in identifying the residents of the intended victims. Now, police station continues to say suspect Butokwa Seth led the officers to the homes of the chief and the woman and provided a photograph of the chief to facilitate the planned act. The suspect also promised an additional 50,000 Ghana cedis upon completion of the crime. Both suspects are currently in police custody, assisting investigation, and will be put before court. The Eastern South Regional Police Command assures the public that it remains committed to ensuring the safety and security of all residents, especially traditional leaders in the region. And that's the police statement signed as well from the Eastern South Regional Police Command. We've just been bringing you the update. We'll be following the story quite keenly. But away from that, chairman of the Private Schools Association in the Ibra Asebu Kwaman Kese district, Daniel Kwamina Asel, says talks are underway with government to ensure top-performing private JHS students gain fair access to public SHS placements. Speaking at a graduation ceremony for Crown of Glory schools, he criticized current placement policies for sidelining private school candidates and undermining educational fairness.
Celebrated at a ceremony organized by the Crown of Glory schools in Aketechua in the Abra Asebu Kwaman Kese district in recognition of their impressive results in the 2025 BCE. Speaking at the ceremony, the head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering at the Takoradi Technical University, Engineer Dr. Esther Chere Ando Aqua, indicated that the efforts of the students have paid off.
Dear graduates, today is your day of pride and joy. You have worked hard, studied late. You woke up very early, prayed, and you sacrificed. And now you are stepping into a new chapter. But remember, you did not walk this journey alone. Behind you stand your parents, who woke up very early, prayed, and sacrifice for you as well. Your teachers who push you to give your best, your friends who encourage you along the way. These are your sources. Honor them always.
On the recent issues surrounding school placements, the chairperson for the Private Schools Association of Ghana in Abra Asebu Kwamankese District and founding director of Crown of Glory Schools, Daniel Kwamena Esel, addressed the position of private schools in the placement system.
Yeah, we have already had a lot of talks to that with the previous government before this one came. And now I think this government came with some sort of consideration, reducing the quota of 30% for private schools, for public schools to get category A schools to rather 15%. So it is gradually reducing. And I am very certain that eventually the government will listen to the plight of private schools, because if you don't share your riches with us, we will share our poverty with you, because persons in private schools have their children being those from affluent homes mostly, and the politicians and all these opinion leaders 90% and beyond bring their children to private schools. So if there will be initiatives which will sideline or marginalize the private institutions, then it will end up affecting the big men and women, their own children. So I think there should be more relaxed, and there should be a fair table where we would just be fair. Private school students to get the best schools in the country. The only thing is that with the investment parents make, when their children don't get a fair choice, they feel bad that with all the investment I've made from kindergarten to SHS and my child wouldn't get the right school, then it's very disheartening. So I think that is where the challenge actually is. But on relative grounds, private school children do excel, and most of them get the top-notch schools as of now.
The education director for Abra Asebu Kwamankese District, Mary Kujo, urged students and parents to accept wherever students are placed.
It's all a matter of we parents making sure that we provide for our children, we give them all the necessary advice concerning the choice of schools and the performance of the individual schools. In fact, all schools in Ghana are good for our children to attend.
From Aketechua, Abigail Lisol Nkoma reports for Joy News.
Still on education, educationist Madam Theodosia Jackson has called for the promotion of decency among the Ghanaian youth. Describing some of their behavior as unthinkable, she observed the standard of education is failing because many students no longer see the need to study diligently, but engage in irresponsible, immoral practices. She has stressed that the need to support young people to stay on the right path to personal development.
Theodosia Jackson of Jackson University College is worried at the rising immorality among the youth in the country, noting that many young people today prefer to follow their peers and do as they please. She bemoaned the spate of drug abuse, sexual misconduct, and exam malpractices.
Of late, the stories we've been hearing about the youth is unthinkable. What they are able to do, you wonder how children of this age, who are going to be the future leaders of this nation, behaving like that. They are in drug addiction, they are in occultism, they are in sexual immorality, and they are not even learning. The things they are doing in school is horrible. So this program is very significant to educate the children, counsel them, open their eyes, let them know that they have a future.
Madam Theodosia appealed to the government to ensure teachers are well paid to be able to support their students become the best.
Let's take ourselves to be our brothers and sisters who have been posted 1 year now and have not been paid 1 cedi. What do we expect them to do? To go the extra mile to cancel somebody's daughter or son? No, he will just go. If he is angry, he will just go and sit there, closing, he will go back home. So I'm appealing to the government. He should pay the teachers. Other than that, it's affecting this generation.
Regional Deputy Director of Education Thomas Kwame Boateng also observed indiscipline brings harm to both individuals and the nation. He assured that the GES will not tolerate any behavior that goes against its code of conduct.
You see, GES will not condone any act that is not in line with the service. So if you are found culpable, you will be put through the different procedural processes, and then whatever the recommendation that we have to recommend, we recommend. First, we are not going to entertain any act that will drag the name of GES in disrepute. That's why we will not do that. If you are a teacher and you are found culpable, we will deal with you.
Executive Director of Loyalty Insurance Company Limited, Elias Abebio, emphasized that while Ghana is blessed with many capable individuals, the nation still struggles because of the lack of inner transformation. He said true national progress depends on changing the mindset and hearts of citizens.
Any policy that takes out the transformation of the hearts will not yield the results that we need, because there has been several policy directions from structural adjustment programs, PAMS card, whatever you, a lot of economic programs has come, but we are not where we want to be, because you and I need to be transformed from the heart, where our greed is not at the center of pursuits, but our needs. We must seek the interests of everyone, and that is what would help us.
The conference aimed to shape and guide the youth by addressing issues such as drug abuse, sexual immorality, and indiscipline, while encouraging them to become responsible citizens who will contribute positively to Ghana's growth and development. Reporting for Joy News, Josephine Sego, Kumasi.
And to some business update, President of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Stefan Abbas, has expressed doubt about the significant impact of the $382 million Ghana cedis to receive from the IMF. Ghana is to receive from the IMF later this year. This follows Ghana reaching a staff-level agreement with the fund on the fifth program earlier yesterday. Reacting to the developments, Stefan Abbas questioned its sustainability of the exchange rate in the medium to long term.
382 million US dollars. It's no money for us to be joyful about. I think that as a nation, we need to put in measures that is forward-looking. Because after this 382 million, the dollar comes down to $12 cedis to a dollar or 10 cedis to a dollar, and then what? And then it goes up again? No. Yes, so in as much as we will be happy, I've gone through this IMF program and all of that, no, we need to be forward thinking as a nation. And I need to be very blunt. 382 million is no money for Ghana. For us to be so much happy about that this money is coming. In as much as it's going to do something good for our economy. In as much as it's going to, yes, it's going to be pumped into the economy, the city is going to strengthen, but this is going to be consumed in no time. And then we are back to the same levels. So we need to be really, really, really forward thinking about how we strengthen our economy. And we have always said that, look, let us look at measures that makes our economy stronger, more especially in industrialization, more especially in supporting local businesses to strengthen up, to scale up, so that we don't need to owe for dollars to go and import. We don't need to do that. So yes, this is good news, but for me as a businessman, for the business community, it's really, really nothing.
Now, Policy Lead, Climate Change and Energy Transition Director at the African Center for Energy, Policy Director Dr. Charles Gyamfi, has stated that the financial challenges in the power sector remains a significant threat to Ghana's economic stability. Speaking at a civil society forum on indebtedness and energy security, Dr. Gyamfi pointed out that government must take decisive action, prioritize transparency, and address distribution inefficiencies to curb technical and commercial losses.
sector is not able to operate as a business. Typically, your tariffs are supposed to pay for generation, for distribution, for transmission, even for fuel. When it is not able and other inefficiencies, the government has to pay, and that means that the budget has to suffer. And if you checked the graph that we showed, if you look at the allocation to capital expenditure in social sectors like agric, like gender, like roads, like education and health, you know that they are very, very small compared to how much was being budgeted to deal with power sector shortfalls. And those monies could have been used, you know, to improve the budget and then to support other social initiatives and interventions. And that is the reality, you know. The more you spend on power sector shortfalls, the more you forgo other interventions in other social sectors.
All for the news update on the show. Please stay this morning.
All right, good morning to you, and wherever you are, welcome to the AM show. Of course, a week after Ghana secured its participation in the 2026 World Cup, which is to be played in US of A, in Canada and Mexico. Where will we be? A lot of people are prophesying or anticipating that we will be placed in Trumpland, US of A. But what if we're placed in Canada or in Mexico? Wherever we'll be placed, we will be there. And so, and I'm sure that all of us are excited that Ghana did it. Coach Otto Addo, of course, has qualified Ghana to the World Cup. And so congrats to the team, congrats to the boys for what they've been able to do. So let's review the papers and what the papers are reporting today. Now, the Daily Guide newspaper says Akosua Sewa divorced into quote-unquote Daddy Lumba traditionally. That's according to the Fosu family. Let's see what comes of that particular case. Again, 2 caged over robbery and murder. And the big story on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper, Bawumia sure of victory in the January presidential primaries of the MPP. The main story, or the details of that story, is on page 3 of the newspaper. It comes with a photograph of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia there, the 2024 flag bearer of the MPP. Again, one of our own, a journalist, Sewa Amihe, among 824 new lawyers. Of course, our own former colleague here, Joseph Akable, is part of the journalists who have been called to the bar. And so congrats to all of you. Dr. Poku explains KGL and LADU. Let's get into other papers as well. That is on the front page of the Daily Guide. But from the Daily Guide, let's do other papers. Okay, let's talk about the Ghanaian publisher, I think, and it says U.S. deportee deal, minority demands probe. It comes with a photograph of the ranking on the Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament, Samuel Abu Jenapo there. Again, no deal or no deals with illegal miners. That's according to Gold Board. Well, the question some people are asking, where are we getting the gold if not from the illegal miners? But the Gold Board is explaining that they don't have any deal with, illegal miners. Let's move on to other papers then and see what we have. The insights, water crisis looms. TUC warns over impact of Galamsey, and TUC says enough of the talk. They want action now. This came up on Friday when they taught some Galamsey site plus water treatment plant across the central and eastern regions. And they said from what they've seen, enough of the talk, they want to see more action from the presidency. And they continue to say that, well, they will be having a meeting, the executive meeting, and then NEC. They will decide what they will do, and you don't have to take away strike if they feel that is what they have to do, they say. they will declare it. But other stories on the front page, poll indicate over 60% of Jews in U.S. believe Israel has committed war crimes in Gaza. There are details of that story in the inside there. Private Security Guard Association meets sector ministers and cries over meager salaries, long working hours, amongst others. Well, that would be an interesting story for you to go into. The details are on page 3. Traditional ruler accuses NDC member of seizing mining concession. Hey, really? Get details of that story there on page 5 of the Insight. And then Israel trying to drag U.S. into yet to be declared, well, I think details are there. Into yet another war. Iran, won. So Iran is warning that Israel is convincing U.S. to be part of that particular one. Well, from the Insight, let's go into other papers. Daily Graphic says, GRA busts diesel diversion syndicate. Always the question about where do some of these fuels go? We have been told that GRA has busted this syndicate, so get details there. But it says the Customs Preventive Unit of the Ghana Revenue Authority has busted a syndicate that diverts diesel to evade customs taxes. Taxes is what we used to build this country, but get details there. So that is the big story on the front page of the Daily Graphics. Let's do other stories now. The News Center. Now the News Center is reporting that. So we'll get the details well. But America deports 312 Ghanaians. That's big there. Whilst we are trying to go to America for the World Cup, they are deporting some of our friends and brothers and sisters, from America. So America has deported 312 Ghanaians from there. Get details of that. Now, Moody's upgrades Ghana's credit rating to CAA1. Well, good news for the economy then. Unlock cross-border mobile money. Momo chief urges BOG to speed up payment framework rollout. So details is on page 7. Now, on the deportation, we understand that additional 2,470 are in ICE detention. 478 arrested this year. Wow, that's these are some numbers there, right? So 312 deported already, 2,470 in ICE detention, and 478 arrested this year alone. Anyway, Gabi denies attacking Ashanti MPs, and Kulendi removal, lawyer files RTI request to presidency. Interesting development there. So away from the News Center. Okay, this is the back page of the News Center. It says EcoBank upgrades digital center for Tete Oklu school deaf. Okay, Tete Oklu deaf school. That's the details. The details on the back page of the News Center newspaper. Let's get it and get the details there. Let's do the Supreme newspaper. Front page says armed land guards, police defy court order to invade Regimanuel Gray lands at East Airport. There's been a lot of these stories coming up lately, right? That security forces defy court orders and invade estates properties. Let's see. Get the details on page 3 of this paper. Now, 2,470 Ghanaians in U.S. IC detention awaiting deportation. So pray that your relatives are not in there. Kulendi removal lawyer demands update based on RTI. That's what is happening. Again, faith in motion, Prophet Ajaguraja, and the quest for spiritual authenticity in modern Ghana. CID Cynthia Opong admits receiving 100,000 cedis in land sale scandal involving Agbeti Lankwe family lands. Okay. So get details of that story on page, 13 of that newspaper. When you go to the back page, that's it. Reason I'm in this, the red, gold, and the green is that this is what it is. Kudu strike sends Ghana marching to 2026 FIFA World Cup. The boys did it. They've done a yeoman's job there. And when you watch the game, you feel proud that going to the World Cup, Ghana can really do something because we have a team to deliver something for us. So let's keep supporting them. And someone said something yesterday on Joy FM that no matter what we say about these boys, we love the Black Stars, and that's it. Well, so that's it there for the daily graphic, the back page of the daily graphic, and that's it. Let's now delve into the papers and now go into what the real issues are, discussing the details of the stories that the papers have reported this morning, including, of course, what's happening to the Black Stars. Professor Ezekiel Norte is with the Department of Statistics and Actuarial Science. He will be joining us as well. And then we will, of course, bring you much more. And in studio, I've been joined by one affable young man to help us deal with these issues and more. Let's get going. Kofi Ameyo is member of the Ken Japan comms team. Would get into it now. Professor Norte is with the University of Ghana. Would deal more on that. Okay. So, Kofi, good morning.
Good morning, Kojo.
Trust you good?
I've been well. How are you?
I'm well.
I've been watching you. You are doing great.
We thank God.
For God and country.
Exactly.
I like you. I should have.
Oh, yeah. I mean, thanks to one of our ladies at the makeup room, when I got in, she said, okay, Kojo, you have to have a touch of Ghana. So she gave me that.
I like that about Ghanaians, you know, when we excel together. And yesterday I was in the stadium and the atmosphere was electrifying. I love the enthusiasm, the support of Ghanaians, the support thus far to the Black Stars. And I think their performance displayed yesterday and even other matches really commensurate with the support that they are having. And I'm extremely glad that indeed we did qualify. It's a good feeling that...
So you were in the stadium, huh?
Yeah, I was in the stadium and even the Mali match, against the Mali match. I have some few observations though. Maybe when we get into the details of the discussion.
Okay.
I will go into some few observations that I made and then make my point. I think...
from the stadium, you mean?
Not from the stadium, from the Black Stars in general. Okay. I think, first of all, let me say a very good morning to your choice viewers and those maybe who might be listening. I think, first of all, let me congratulate the Black Stars for qualifying for the World Cup. And let me also congratulate Otto Addo for making history, for being the first Ghanaian to have qualified Ghana to the World Cup on 2 successive times. And I believe this is a great...
Didn't this guy, Kwesi Appiah, do same?
No, Kwesi Appiah did not qualify us to the 2010 World Cup. Though he took us 2014. He took us to 2014.
So he qualified us into 2014?
And then he failed to qualify us in 2018.
So it means that then Otto Addo is not the first Ghanaian to do so?
Successive.
Okay.
So we qualified in 2022. He was the coach that qualified us to the 2022 World Cup in Qatar.
Okay.
When we played against Nigeria in Nigeria, then there was a 1-1 draw.
Wasn't it when is it Chris Hughton was in charge? Also?
No, Chris Hughton came in for the AFCON.
Oh, okay.
Do you get it? So Otto Addo is the first Ghanaian to have qualified the Black Stars for 2 consecutive World Cup. Having said, I think the Black Stars, the team is good. When you look at the current players and their current form, especially the core team, the Jordan, the Thomas Partey, Semenyo, Kudus, and even Fatau, Sibo. I'll come to Sibo. Yesterday he was fantastic. I used to play amateur football.
Okay.
And he's a typical Ghanaian midfielder.
Yeah.
The old Ghanaian midfielder.
Yes.
You know, that kind of, their bloody Kumes and their bloodies, that kind of midfield. And he was exemplary. He was exceptional yesterday.
I think he's been phenomenal ever since he was introduced to the team.
And you know he was not even part of the team.
No.
He was on standby.
Yeah, he wasn't. I mean,
until Suleiman got injured and he was just called to replace him.
I think that he came into the limelight after he came into the La Liga. And then spotlight went on him. People were like, wow, that's a good player.
I never heard of him until when Ghana was playing Mali. And I was like, who is this player with this blonde? I never heard of him before. But that day, he was fantastic. And I think so far, so good. Like I said, the team, individually, they are doing well for their various clubs. Okay? And for the last few matches, they've shown that they are good. My only challenge is the coach and his philosophical game plan. Especially when you are watching from the stadium, you can tell he doesn't have full command. He lacks something. In as much as...
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You can feel, especially if you've played football before and you follow football very much, you can feel there's something lacking. I'll be happy for him if he is still the coach or will still be the coach.
He must be. Because you see, yes, in as much as we want to go to the World Cup and do better, we must not put it into the coach that with you we cannot go far. What is lacking can still be corrected even before.
That is
give him trainings. Let him go to Etihad or Manchester.
That is why I'm saying that I'll be happy for him if he should. Okay, so let me come to why I'm making this particular, comment. Because against the Malians, yeah, you would realize that I understood the game plan. He had 5 at the back. He played 5-3-1. Okay, 5 at the back. He packed the back to defend what I don't know. I don't know why he was defending because we needed to win that game, but he decided to defend. Fortunately for us, we got a goal and we defended throughout the game. I was in the stadium. It was defense throughout.
Isn't it because he believes his...
Then we go to Morocco against Central African Republic. He opened up the game, played 4-3-2. And it was beautiful. We scored 5 goals. And even games before that we've been scoring, he's been playing 4-3-2. Do you get my point? Then yesterday we playing against Comoros, that it was a vendetta, a vengeance because of what Comoros have done to us in time past. Especially in, I think, 2021 AFCON, when they eliminated Ghana from the group stages. And then subsequently, when we started the World Cup qualifier, they scored us 1. So it was a moment, we had already qualified. But for some mathematical reasons, we just needed to wait for yesterday's game. We had already qualified. So one would have expected that it would be a moment of vengeance where you play to score, to win. But again, he came back to that same formation, 5-3-1. Playing 5 at the back. So we were like, and even his substitutions, something is not, he need to, because the reason why I'm saying that is, when we go to the World Cup, and we are playing against the top teams, I use the word his philosophical game set and plan. Because you think maybe we are playing against Portugal, we are playing against England, they are a better side. Are you going to sit back and defend and not play your game when the guys can play against any team in the world? We are talking about Semenyo, who will take on players in Liverpool and score from his own area into the Liverpool area and score. We are talking about Kudus, who can take on players. Are you going to say they should just sit back and defend? That is why I'm saying he needs to change something. Otherwise, we will go to the World Cup and really not enjoy.
Don't we celebrate Mourinho? Don't we celebrate Mourinho?
You see, I'm not a Chelsea fan. I'm not a Mourinho fan.
Mourinho plays that. And he's won titles.
Because he plays in a league that you play maybe 38 games in a season. This is about like 4 games or 5 games that you are going to play. You don't have that time to explore and this. No. You must play to excite us as well. Yes, we must win, but we must be excited. You don't want to go into the World Cup where Ghana will be just defending. No. I don't want to see that because we have good players in that. Look at Jiku yesterday. Salisu was fun. He had his best game for Ghana thus far. Yesterday was his best game for me seeing him. Every player was exceptionally good yesterday. And I think that when we carry that same spirit into the World Cup, allow the players to flow and gel among themselves, I think we will do better than other. It's unfortunate that we couldn't qualify for the AFCON. It would have been a preparatory, stage and process for the guys to continually gel among themselves. Because the midfield duo, the Partey and Sibo, that guy yesterday Sibo was just...
You loved him.
At one point, I just stood up, just me alone in the stadium, clapping for him. Because if you love football and you've watched football, you realize the guy is fantastic.
Okay. All right, then. Let's bring in Professor Ezekiel Norte. He's on Zoom. Prof, I guess you also followed the game yesterday. What's your own assessment of how the guys played yesterday?
Well, very fantastic. They played as a team, and I was extremely overjoyous for the team. Going to the World Cup is a plus. It means that you've conquered Africa, and you are going into the world. So I was extremely happy for them. But I think I share most of the sentiments that Ameyaw had earlier on posited. Our coach lacks a bit of finesse. I think he's so much conscious of not opening up in a game. And if you are playing Comoros and you are not opening up, what about? You've already qualified. Open up. Let's see your players. Let's see how they attack. And you are defending. So for me, I think he needs to change his game plan. Yeah, he needs to change his game plan. But I was extremely happy yesterday. Extremely happy.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. So Ghanaians are happy with the
just so you know, we are going to the US, Canada, or Mexico.
Yes.
And it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Why is it exciting? That will be in US or where? Will it be exciting if we are playing in Mexico?
I recall sometime last year when they started the qualifiers, I was on another TV station with Mary, God bless his soul, the late Murtala Mohammed. And we were discussing and I made the point that Ghana must qualify. They cannot fail us. As for this particular tournament, he was insisting, why do you think they should qualify? The World Cup is going to be played in the US, Canada, and Mexico. What do you think? And Bella was like, oh, you are making a blanket statement. You have to explain for that. And I was like, it's enough. Ghanaians will understand. I think yesterday, even at the stadium, there was a chant.
At the time, I was listening on Joy FM.
I prayed that they don't send us to Mexico.
And our guys were saying that, now listen to the chant. USA.
We want to go. No, I think per FIFA's, what I've seen, they will take you to a place where you have a lot of your people around.
Okay.
So I am sure even if we should go to US, we'll be playing either New Jersey or New York.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That's why I'm excited.
Okay.
I used to work with the Permanent Mission of Ghana to the UN, so I was based in New York. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
You enjoyed it there. Okay, let's see how that goes. Let's start the issues from the Daily Graphic newspaper. There's one big story there. 15 perish in Volta Lake disaster. This is like an annual affair or an annual ritual that keeps happening, and you don't know when we can really end this thing. Now it says a fatal boat disaster on Volta Lake near Ketakrachi last Saturday has claimed 15 lives. The deceased include 11 children aged between 2 and 14. Wow. 4 others, all adults, on board the boat survived the accident. The Ghana Maritime Authority has since deployed a specialized investigative team of maritime safety inspectors and personnel from the Navy Task Force in Dambai to the scene. The incident occurred around 1:30 p.m. when a small boat carrying passengers, reportedly returning from a funeral at Okuma and heading to Boveme, both in the Krachi West District in the Oti region, tragically capsized. Preliminary report, according to a statement by the Ghana Maritime Authority, indicated that, quote, the boat was grossly overloaded beyond its safe operational capacity, unquote. Again, quote, tragically, 11 of the deceased were children between the ages of 2 and 14, unquote, the statement added, indicating that the 11 consisted of 5 males and 6 females. I mean, this is not new, right? This keeps happening regularly. how can we really deal with
Were there stamps or trees in there?
That's why I was thinking I could come across it, but I haven't.
The cause of it?
I haven't, but I'm sure that the cause, they say, is because the boat was overloaded to its operational capacity. So that's what they've said so far. But how do we safeguard, travels on this lake especially? First, it used to be, stamps. We don't know whether we've dealt with all of those stamps and then overloading of boats as well.
You see, Kojo, we as a country, I think that we have to be very intentional with our infrastructural development, okay? And the lack of it thereof is the reason why we are experiencing some of these things. Of course, it's a matter of transportation. People would want to move from point A to point B to transact their businesses, and I mean, it might amaze you that these children were even going to school. Okay?
No, they were returning from a funeral.
A funeral. So, I mean, at some point, we like I said, we must be intentional. I do not want to compare Ghana to other developed countries where you can see a bridge across a river or some huge river. We must try as much as possible for at least these lives to be able to do something. The Ministry of Transportation and the government, as a matter of urgency, must do something about some of these ferries, okay? We must have enough boats on the rivers to be able to transport people. Maybe they've returned from the funeral, or they are returning from the funeral and it was late. They wanted to get home as early as possible, so everybody wanted to get on board so that they can get home, and this caused the unfortunate death. So, as a matter of urgency, we must focus on these ferries. I've been told many times there is this ferry in Afran Plains or in the Volta region that goes like once in a while, and if you miss it, you have to wait for the next day and all that. So when you have such situations where people would have to be ferried from one point to the other, and they don't have enough boats or boats to carry them across, they'll be forced to join. Sometimes maybe the person in charge might not want to do it, but because these people are in a hurry to get to wherever they want to get to, then it's extremely unfortunate. May their soul rest in peace. And I think that we must not continually wait for some of these tragedies before we take action. It's, for me, from where I sit, I think it's basically as a result of lack of boats to carry the people along. And we must be deliberate about some of these things. These are some of the small things, low-hanging fruit we can fix to save lives. And we must focus on these things, especially in these areas that depend a lot on this source of transportation to their various destinations or wherever they want to get to.
Okay.
It's extremely unfortunate that we would have to discuss this early in the morning.
Let me bring in Professor Ezekiel Norte, because the Maritime Authority says, and quote, in collaboration with the Ministry of Transport, the Ghana Maritime Authority will immediately constitute a high-level casualty investigations committee to undertake a comprehensive investigation. The committee's findings will inform urgent enforcement measures to prevent a recurrence of such tragedies on our inland waters. Prof, really, when would we move from forming committees and saying that their findings will inform us on how we can prevent recurrence to actually making sure that we do, than sitting there and all years these happen, we form a committee, we say their findings will inform us on what to do, nothing really happens. When can we, or what should make us move from talk to action?
That is what we are all looking at. It's been too many of such committees. This is not the first time somebody is dying on a river. It happens all the time. We will investigate, we will do this, we will do that, and then we continue to still behave the same way we are behaving. I think we need to be a bit more pragmatic in preferring solutions than just looking at only setting up committees committee meetings, committee reports, and nothing is working. It's very pathetic, very pathetic. These are very simple things that can be solved much easily.
Okay.
And I don't know why we keep on losing lives that will help rebuild, reshape Ghana. I think the authorities must come out clean and work on serious modalities to solve these problems.
But I want to find out, how will this happen? You know, what should happen before we'll get authorities moving from the normal rhetoric to action, really, that can save the lives of our people? Because this is one too many.
Yeah, so for me, the authorities are in a position to, solve these problems. Even locally, if they've been empowered, somebody must act. You know, they don't appoint you to just be a leader. Once you are in that position, you should solve problems. Problems come, and we should feel you solving the problems, but not the mere rhetoric of committee has been formed, we are investigating, we are looking into it, and nothing really happens. In fact, we need to be more proactive towards solving problems like this.
All right, grateful to you. Let me now bring in Dixon Chredua, our very good friend here. He's MP for Brecon West, and also is the chairman of the Football Stakeholders Committee. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Kojo.
Once you are the chairman there, this committee, what do you do?
If you want to go to the US.
We have to see him. What do you do in this committee?
Kojo, this is one of the GFA's elite committees.
Okay.
And it is responsible for managing relationship with all the key stakeholders. So we are the interface, managing relationship with the sports ministry, managing relationship with the government, managing relationship with clubs, sponsors, marketing side, players, coaches, technical teams, owners of clubs, and all the key stakeholders. You know, football is a game involving multiplicity of stakeholders. And it's important all these stakeholders are brought under one umbrella. Concerns, views, expectations of key stakeholders melt. And this committee is responsible for that. It comprises of eminent personalities in football. And I happen to be the chairman of this elite committee. Other members include former member of parliament for Lada de Kotopon, Honorable Vincent Suwa Odote Obama is there. Former GFA vice president, my boss, Mr. Fred Papo, who was the chair of the Black Stars Management Committee. In our maiden World Cup appearance in 2006, is there Dr. Baba Adams, and a good number of people, players represented by Hamid Udramani. So it is such an important committee that plays a very vital role in the development of football in Ghana. And this is the first time that we are having this committee. In fact, at the FIFA level, it is such an important committee that every quarter they have to brief the Executive Council, and that is what our mandate is. So every quarter, this committee will brief Executive Council of GFA on matters of relationship with key stakeholders and the way forward to develop the beautiful football we all love.
So what are you doing as Ghana has qualified to the World Cup? What's the committee doing now?
Because it's very important. You know, there are a lot of stakeholders, supporters who would want to be part of this Mundial, corporate Ghana who would want to be part. And you know, this World Cup is so crucial for the socio-economic development of this country because it provides global platform for businessmen. That is the platform we can showcase made in Ghana products, build partnerships and collaborations with international organizations. And it is also an opportunity for football entrepreneurs to build partnerships in terms of academies, in terms of investments in football. And we will be managing all these relationships. You know, for a football team like Black Stars to perform, you need each and every one. The technical team will play their role. The management team, led by Dr. Ransford Abbey, will do same. The players will have a role to play. The supporters, government, led by the Minister of Sports and Recreation. So all these key stakeholders, if one of them fails, it has serious repercussions on the ultimate performance of the team on the field. So each and every stakeholder is important to the success of the team. That's why it's important you bring them together and we'll be singing along one direction for the success of the team.
Otto, if I may take your position and ask a question, if you may.
Oh, yeah, why
Please. Not? Chairman, I would want to find out, this is the 5th time Ghana has qualified for the World Cup.
Exactly.
Okay, we only missed out in the last, I think,
2018.
2018, yeah. So what has been the major achievement as a result of our participation in the World Cup? What can we say as a people that because we went to the World Cup, this is the benefit of it? Do we have anything to show for?
Yeah, a lot more. You know, quite apart from physicals, the reputation of the country, the global standing is so key. That's why countries are spending billions of dollars to get that exposure. You know, until 2022, you know, Qatar, for instance, was almost a pariah state in the eyes of the Western world. But after hosting the World Cup, ask your journalists who are in Qatar, the story is different. The place has become investment destination country, and that one you cannot quantify in terms of monetary terms. And for us in Ghana, I was part of the team that went to Germany, the first World Cup. I was part of Black Stars, both home and away qualifiers, and was in Germany. And there are a good number of Ghanaians I know who built business relationships while we were in Germany, and their businesses are thriving. In terms of football, you know, Ghana started qualifications in the early 60s. It took us over 46 years to get to our maiden World Cup in Germany. And since then, 2006 in Germany, 2010 in South Africa, we went as far as quarterfinals, but for the infamous hand of Suarez, we would have made history by going to the semifinals. 2014, we were there, and 2022, now 2026, we're there. This is having impact in terms of a number of our players who are gaining international exposure and going outside the country. And you know, remittances into this country is so huge. So quite apart from that, the money that comes in as a result of qualification, you know, FIFA has done a lot of projects as a result of our qualification. And football, money that comes in, some have been used to develop football facilities. I remember the 2022 World Cup money, some were given to the Football Association to provide brand new pickups for various regions. Okay. So Bono, my region, has operational vehicles and so forth. So the benefits socio-economically are enormous. Okay. And, you know, this is an inspiration, motivation to up-and-coming footballers to see the lives of Kudus, Jordan, Partey at the highest level. If you are up-and-coming footballer, it inspires you, and you have a lot of role models to emulate. Okay. So the benefits, I must say, enormous. Because I'm almost jumping the gun because I haven't actually expressed my congratulations to the team and all the stakeholders involved yet. I can see you are celebrating the victory and the qualification in the grand style.
Yeah.
And the boys have done really, really well. 10 matches with possible 30 points to our next. They've got 25 out of 30.
Yeah.
And they won 8 of their matches, lost only 1 and drawn 1. With 23 goals. I have checked through all the groups. No group has scored 23 goals. And that tells you the goal threat, how great our attacking force comprising of Jordan, who is the arrowhead, 7 goals, 7 assists in this World Cup qualifiers, and Antoine Semenyo with kudos. We have such a potent attacking threat that I don't see any African country having a better attacking threat than we possess. So let me take this opportunity to express my heartfelt congratulations first to the team. The boys have done really, really well. We are all aware how the team has been lambasted and lampooned by a section of the media and the general public for what they describe as lackluster performances. But you know, Kojo, what matters most in football is to get the 3 points. So once again, I congratulate the players. But Kojo, you cannot do that without giving credit to the Ghana Football Association Executive Council, led by Kurt Edwin Simon Okreku and his executive committee. They've done extremely well. They've taken decisive decisions, crucial, critical decisions at critical times. There came a time when the clarion call amongst Ghanaians was that Otto Addo should go. They refused to yield in, rather brought in Refresh Shafa to augment the technical team. And that has paid very, very well. Since that, they played 6 matches without any defeat, with only 1 drawn game. That was a bold decision. Again, people call for disbandment of the management team. It was not totally disbanded, but it was reconstituted. Dr. Ransford Abbey was brought in to chair the committee, and we've seen the direction they have gone so far. So, Kojo, you may not be happy about performances on the field in terms of certain matches. You might not be seeing the fluidity, the telepathy, the sexy football that Black Stars is noted for in these qualifications. But the most important aspect of the job has been delivered. And we should be very mindful that this team is a very young team. The boys have just been brought together. They need time to gel. And you know, during qualifications, you don't have opportunity even to camp the boys beyond 72 hours because they are playing for their various clubs. Now that we've qualified, we have 8 good months to prepare the team. So I believe strongly that with the caliber of players we have, look at what Antoine Semenyo is doing at Bournemouth. 6 goals, 3 assists in the Premier League this season. Wonderful player. Jordan Ayew, fantastic, both at the World Cup and in the Premier League. And Kudus, exceptional. Pate will give you the assured performances you have. And for me, the most improving day in, day out player is Alexander Jiku, who is a rock of Gibraltar, solid at the defense. And that was seen yesterday. So with these players we have the talent. They've been brought together. Let us give Coach Otto Addo chance to prepare the team.
Yeah, I agree.
And for me, I have always totally disagreed with people who were calling for the head of Otto Addo. I think it was unfair.
Yeah.
In the middle of a battle, the man who came in has not tasted a single defeat throughout the qualification. When we lost to Comoros, he was not the one in charge. He came in and he's won all matches except the drawn game he played against Chad. And I think he deserves some credit. As I said, you may not like some decisions. Yesterday, for instance, I disagreed with him with the starting of Alidu and keeping him on the field for that long. He was not performing. But at the end of the day, he delivered for us.
And again, I'm sure the intent was that let's give some bit of confidence. Because
exactly.
So let's use that to give confidence.
You know, as early as 15 minutes, some people I was sitting with the presidential lodge were calling for substitution. And I said, in football, you don't do that. First 15 minutes, unless you get red card, then you have to strategize and do substitution. Otherwise, you give the player up to 30 minutes, up to first half. That's when you do substitutions. Otherwise, if you start doing early substitutions and you get problem midway, red card, or your key player gets injured and you have to be forced to do substitution, you might have exhausted your numbers. So, as I said, he may not be the perfect coach you want, but he has delivered on the job. And Kojo, this is not the first time. He is on record. In fact, we've seen great Ghanaian coaches from Osam Dudu, Coach Afrane, Kwesi Appiah, and all of them, but no Ghanaian coach has sent Ghana to World Cup on 2 different occasions. He did it in 2022 when the going was tough against almighty Nigeria. He overcame them, sent us to Qatar. Now when the going was getting tough and he was brought in, he's delivered, sent us to US, Canada, and Mexico. And I think he deserves some respect. Let us give him time. Going forward, if there is a need for changes to be done, that decision could be taken. But based on his performances in the qualifiers, I think it is too harsh. And if it's good to get us to World Cup,
it's good to play.
Why do you say? That's why I say, you know, between now and next year, June, is a very long time. Nobody knows what will happen. Probably he might be conducting himself in a certain manner, might be taking some capricious decisions that may not help the cause of Black Stars. That may give us opportunity to call for his head. But assessing him on his performances during the qualifiers and coming to a conclusion that he has to be relieved of his duties, I think it's too harsh. Let us celebrate Black Stars now. Let us celebrate the boys, the management team, the technical team, GFA, and of course, the supporters. They've been overwhelming. The supporters have been overwhelming, and they also deserve to be congratulated. But I think it is too early to be talking about the technical direction, especially with the many calls we are getting with respect to the future of Coach Otto Addo. After the match, you know, people were just saying, oh, even though he's gotten us there, we have a way of playing the qualifiers and we have a way of playing the World Cup itself. So he is a specialist in qualification, but he's not fit for the tournament itself. And I totally disagree with that position.
We should leave him to do his work. But you're an MP.
Yeah,
so at least on this story, I have to have your take on it. 15 perishing in Volta Lake boat accident. What will you do, you as an MP and with your colleagues, to ensure that the transport ministry is able to deal with this? Because every year forming committees to say that we won't let this happen again is becoming one too many rhetoric. So what will you do in Parliament to ensure that the Ministry of Transport really ends this cyclical incident that we'll be reporting?
Kojo, let me express my heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families and to the good people of Oti region. This is yet another sad story we've been hearing, but it's not new. When I heard it, I was wondering if it is about time that probably a commission of inquiry is set up to properly go into the matters of safety, enforcement of operational safety on the Volta Lake transportation. You already indicated, and the earlier contributors have all alluded to the number of committees that have been set up in the past. But what are we seeing today? It appears no lessons are learned. It is too early for me to jump into conclusion. Investigations are still underway. But what we are hearing is that the vehicle was probably overloaded.
Yes, the boat was overloaded.
And again, we're hearing there were no life jackets on board. And so if these things we are hearing are true, then the question comes, what are the enforcement mechanisms in terms of safety? Because if you go through the Maritime Authority procedures and transportation on the lake, there is strict safety measures and there are enforcement mechanisms.
So
what I think the enforcement authorities are sitting on their job. They're not enforcing safety, because before any boat departs, and there should also be enforcement on the lake, stopping and checking and all these things. So we need to enforce this. But as I said, for me, I think it's about time probably a commission of inquiry set up to deal with all matters relating to safety, especially on the Volta Lake. This is one too many, and we should have permanent and sustainable solution to these accidents.
Okay, all right. Let me go on Zoom and bring in Professor Ezekiel Norte, but take you to the Daily Guide newspaper and deal with the story of the MPP, where Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is sure of winning the primaries that is slated for 31st January. It says, former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has expressed strong optimism about his chances in the upcoming New Patriotic Party presidential primaries, declaring his readiness to secure a decisive victory when delegates go to the polls on January 31, 2026. Dr. Bawumia, who has been on a series of engagement with party executives and coordinators in the Greater Accra region, concluded his latest round of meetings with a renewed call for unity and teamwork among the MPP members as the party prepares for the crucial internal contest. Quote, I concluded my special engagement with electoral area coordinators in the Greater Accra region yesterday with a call for unity and a shared vision as we head into January 31 polls, unquote, he said in a message shared on his social media pages. Quote, again, I am heartened by the very warm welcome offered me and remain confident that together we can #win with Bawumia, unquote. Prof, I mean, what do you make of this particular race itself? Who is to win the presidential primaries when 31st January arrives here for the MPP to go to polls to elect whoever leads the party?
Yeah, thank you very much. Like I said before, it looks more of a two-horse race between Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and closely followed by Ken Ohene Ajipon. I think his call is in order. I have said before on this platform that when it comes to people who has been marketed, then he stands very tall amidst those who are contending. I have also seen that he's been more civil with very temperate language concerning unity. And that, for me, is what MPP needs currently. It looks like too many factions is actually draining the cohesion in the party. So if he's calling for unity, I think the other contestants should also do the same. My only worry with him saying that he's he is sure of winning is that though currently he leads on many polls, his percentage keeps on dwindling. Okay, it keeps on dwindling, and we still have 2 more months or so before their primaries. So if things continue that way, then it's going to be a bit shocking for him. Other than that, he stands tall. I think calling for unity in the team is what they all have to embrace.
Okay.
MPP is a very big party, and the infighting, when it becomes too much, it derails most of the successes that the party has chalked. So they need to work on that.
Okay. So that's Professor Ezekiel Notte, who believes that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is leading, or is in the lead to win this particular primaries. But a case for concern is the dwindling numbers that polls have been reporting. But over the weekend, I also had a chat with an academic who says the research they have done indicate that he's in the region of 78 plus. Kofi, this is your party, and you belong to the other side. You obviously would oppose that. I mean, he's sure of winning this. You would say that your candidate is winning. But if you listen to the polls, if you listen to people who speak, they say that in terms of presidential, you talk about marketability. He's the one who's been marketed that well. He's been vice president for 8 years. He's been running mate for 8 years. So together, he's been in the limelight for like 16 years. And therefore, you cannot really take away that sellability. And therefore, he's the one that is rightly placed to win this primaries.
I mean, he's right in his own to say that, he's sure of victory. Like you said, he has a history in the party. He has a history in the country. I have said, and I want to reiterate, that he has been, or he is the most efficient vice president we've had in the Fourth Republic. That is that's no doubt about that. But you see, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia must not win the MPP primaries. Ken must win. You made mention of the fact that, he's marketed, his sellability is up there. But we are also well aware that history is replete with candidates who hitherto were marketed, were more sellable than the other candidate, but eventually the people chose the other person. You can talk of, in the United States, the race between Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, when Barack Obama was relatively unknown against Hillary, yet he won. You can talk of when Trump was contesting against Hillary, relatively unknown in the political space. I'm making a point.
That the two situations, the two countries, have different electoral characteristics.
I agree, but there's a commonality.
Okay.
They want to have a president in whom they can identify their hopes and aspirations with.
Okay.
In the case of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, I will not dispute his marketability because, of course, he has been in the political system, ecosystem, for well over 16 years.
Yeah.
Okay? He has been a vice president, a running mate, and all of that. He's been at the forefront of MPP's politics in a very long time.
Yeah.
So that is there. But the fact of the matter is that going into the 2028 elections and beyond 2028, Ghanaians are looking for a certain kind of leader. And in every time, in every season, in every situation, we need a particular leader to lead the country.
Okay.
And Ghanaians are calling for a leader who is bold, who is honest, who has a demonstrable record of providing jobs. Just recently, the Ghana Statistical Service provided the data of youth unemployment, and it's in an alarming rate. We need a president who can truly and really provide the jobs needed by the youth and who has a credibility. The youth can identify their hopes and aspirations with him. People can say, yes, indeed, this individual, when he promises, he will deliver. And these qualities with Ken are umbilical. They are inseparable in his essence. That is who he is. He's honest about the things that he will do. He's bold about it, and he's fearless about it. Again, the qualities of Dr. Bawumia exist. But who Ghanaians really need and want beyond 2028 is not Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Really?
It is Ken or Ohene Japan. They need, look, for the past 20 years, we've heard rhetorics and semantics, promises unfulfilled, expectations that have not been met by our politicians.
So
we were promised.
So you're saying your government didn't fulfill its promises?
We didn't fulfill all our promises. The elections result bears witness.
But no one has been able to fulfill all its promises. No.
Some of the unfulfillments are overwhelming, and for me, it threatens our democracy. For example, you have a government or a political party that promises a 24-hour economy. What are we seeing? They bring up a policy that totally deviates from the promise they made.
They are only 10 months into the administration.
No, they've done. Look, let's look at our political calendar very well. Your first year, of course, you need to, rearrange and form your government and all that. So you have effectively 2.5 years or 3 years maximum to execute. But as in your first year, you must attempt to implement and roll out your flagship programs.
They have.
They haven't. Give me one.
They've rolled out the 24-hour economy.
They've launched it.
They've shown the modalities.
But they haven't implemented it.
They have rolled out the first-year university free education.
Is it fully implemented?
They have paid, haven't they?
They have paid? Who? Come on, don't do that. Look at the numbers. They promised us 133. That one job, 3 shifts, 3 workers. Yeah. I am talking about the fact that we are tired. Look, I made a point somewhere that Ghanaians gave the NDC. I was looking at the figures, and it's in Bono West, or in Bono East, we had only 1 seat. 1 seat. Honorable Damois. Okay? In Bono.
That is Bono.
In Bono.
Bono. That's the German South.
Okay, so even in the whole Bono and a half, we had about 3 seats.
You have 3, each region 1.
Can you imagine? This is the MPP we are talking about. A region that we had dominance and our stronghold.
But are you blaming it on an individual?
No, I'm not saying that. Okay. I'm talking about MPP. I haven't mentioned an individual. Okay. So I am saying that the Ghanaians need a particular leader. NPP need certain kind of dramatic change to rearrange itself, to make itself attractive once again. Because indeed and of course, we are the political parties that do have the policies and programs that Ghanaians do normally find favorite. Unfortunately, there were certain mistakes that we made that caused us, of course, the 2024 elections. And truly and fairly, Ghanaians are looking for a certain kind of leader, and they find that kind of leader in the New Patriotic Party. We are talking about marketability and sellability and popularity and all that and track record. Each of the persons that are on our notice of poll, who are our aspirants, they are all uniquely qualified to lead the New Patriotic Party. But of course, the others who have been more there. When you talk of marketability, you are not going to tell me Ohene Japan was just introduced to us just a few months ago. He has been in the system more than any of the candidates, even on as our aspirants.
You sure?
He has been in the system.
Even more than Kwabena Japan.
He was, Kwabena Japan is contestable. But we are talking about, Kwabena Japan is a bit easy to discuss. Kwabena Japan, I agree. Kwabena Japan, I agree. But I'm saying that, of course, we all do know the race is between Kennedy, Ohene Japan, who of course would win, and then Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Okay, so for me, this whole election is about NPP recapturing power. Yeah. So if you're a delegate of the New Patriotic Party and you'll be voting on January 31st, 2026, there must be an overarching goal that should be your focus, that you need power, that in 2028, it is possible for NPP to come back to power. if it will be possible, we need to present Ghanaians with a candidate that they identify their hopes and aspirations with. We need to present them with a candidate that name resonates with, whose track record, his things that he has done, his philanthropic actions, really Ghanaians do appreciate. His fight for the poor, his passion for the poor, his care for the poor, even as an individual. Okay, how much more if you give him the resources?
The things you say, aren't they your personal feelings? Because the data doesn't back it. All the research that Global Info Analytics has done, and of course that's our reference point, shows that Ghanaians in general want even Bawumia to be your flag bearer.
The last time I checked, the last time I checked, the same Info Analytics made the point that if we present Dr. Bawumia again, we will lose the elections.
Where did it?
Earlier in the year. That's what
but the recent one shows that Ghanaians prefer. Is
it MPP or Ghanaians?
No, Ghanaians. He did Ghanaians and MPP. They are the two. Is it 57 or so prefer Bawumia to be your flag bearer? And then your party, within your party, still prefer Bawumia is leading. So where are you getting the feeling that Ghanaians feel that their aspirations are aligned with Kennedy Japan and not Dr. Bawumia or Brian Achampong, Kwabena Japan or Dr. Edichum?
You see, when you go to the markets, some of us, we've had the opportunity to sit on national TV. So when you go, they see you and they talk to you. And they tell you, Kofi, if you guys don't bring Kennedy Japan, we won't vote for him. You go to your mechanic and they tell you, we warned you that if you bring Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, we might not vote for him. We prefer you to bring Ken. You people didn't listen to us. This time you have an opportunity to bring him. When you sit in the church, you conduct a simple survey outside here and ask majority of Ghanaians, go to the Malapta market and ask Ghanaians who they would prefer as their president. As their president. And some of us are supporting Ken, not out of our individual interests, but it's a call by the larger Ghanaians saying that for once, give us an individual who is bold, who is honest, who will promise and deliver.
We were told so about Akufo Addo. Before he assumed power as president, we were told that he was the most fearless politician, he was a no-nonsense politician, he was a bold person, and so to hear that you say for once...
Why do you use President Akufo Addo as an example?
Because you said that the people say for once, give us someone who is bold. And I said, we had same about Akufo Addo.
Look.
That he was bold, he was fearless.
Ken Ohene Japan, okay, even not being a president, has demonstrated these qualities that Ghanaians are looking for.
Okay.
President Akufo Addo did not have the opportunity to exhibit it. Maybe through people's perception and what rumors they might have heard about him, thought that, okay, he might be someone who would do A, B, or C. Unfortunately, somehow, those expectations maybe were not met. But in my personal opinion, President Akufo Addo was a fantastic president. In fact, his economic recovery program blueprints are the very ones that the NDC is using now. Today, I heard you saying there has been an uptick of our
upgrade.
An upgrade
by faith.
Okay, look, why is it so? It's because of the debt exchange programs that we rolled out that was not even popular. They are still continuing with the debt exchange program. And that's the reason why we have this fiscal space, and that has reduced our debts, okay?
By Moody's. Moody's has upgraded.
Exactly. So the point is that what Ghanaians are calling for is not in a vacuum. As far as Kennedy Ohene Japan is concerned, what they are calling for is an individual they have seen, they have heard, they have felt it. This is a man who has fought for the poor, for the vulnerable, for the old age. This is a man who has shown care and love to even our 37 military hospital, the cardio center hospital or unit of the 37 military hospital. This is a man who has demonstrated a lot of philanthropic work. Okay. So for me, who Ghanaians are calling for and what Ghanaians really need are or is with the MPP, and we as delegates it behooves on us, it's our responsibility to present him to Ghanaians so that at the end of the day, he can recapture power to the MPP.
All right, thank you very much. This one says, Kojo, Dr. Bawumia is the most formidable candidate for the 2028 elections, distinguished by his extensive experience, meticulous preparation, and considerable electoral appeal. A sterling attribute, including humility, compassion, exceptional leadership acumen, integrity, intellectual rigor, and an unrelenting pursuit of excellence, position him as a compelling figure to spearhead and unify the MPP going into the 2028 general elections in Ghana. His emotional intelligence is top-notch. He is definitely our next president. No amount of insult, lies, or shenanigan can change that. Mancha Bruce II in Takoradi. Honorable.
Kojo, I think my brother alluded to the poor performance of Dr.
I didn't do that.
Dr. Bawumia. You were talking about the electoral outcome.
Okay.
In Bono, Ahafo, Bono East, and virtually alluding to the poor performance of Dr. Bawumia as the head of the economic management.
I asked him specifically, is he blaming one man? He said no. So
anyway,
he's not blaming that.
Let me stay away from that and say, for me, all the 5 candidates on the ballot paper for MPP, we in the NDC, we are not so much interested in who wins, because whoever wins is definitely going to taste a very, very bitter defeat in 2028.
You represented a new candidate, though?
Yeah. We're going to hand down a very, very humiliating defeat too. And that will depend on how we perform. It doesn't matter whether it is Ken, it doesn't matter whether it is Bawumia, it doesn't matter whoever. Kwadwo himself talked about the junk status we came to meet, and now is improving day in, day out. Fitch came and gave us positive outlook. Today, Moody's has upgraded further. So, Kwadwo, what I'm saying is...
Aren't you worried one day these international bodies keep downgrading and upgrading?
Kwadwo, what I'm saying is...
Aren't you a pawn in their game?
What I'm saying is, whoever they bring, it depends on what we do. And now that the economy under the safe hands of Otto Addo, you see the dollar is not galloping as it used to be. The prices of goods and services, inflation down, prudent economic management lays with fiscal discipline. If we continue along that tangent, the energy sector was almost totally collapsed. Now, things are stabilizing. If we push with a big push that President Mahama is rolling out, and for me in particular, if Jine Sampa Road is dealt with under the big push, which contractor will soon be on site, and by 2028, we are done with that Accra-Kumasi Road, dualized. If you have the Eastern Corridor Road done, because I know you love Takoradi, and that is dualized. Yeah. Under the national apprenticeship, thousands of Ghanaians have been put under apprenticeship. In fact, last Sunday, I matriculated those who have started in my district. Dozens of people are being supported to be creators of jobs, to be employers and not employees, and the Jumaura, and aggressive infrastructure rollout in our secondary schools now go to all the secondary schools, and our bid to end the shift system. Football, sports developing under the leadership of Kofi Adams, going to the World Cup, and all these things. If we succeed and continue along where we are going, it doesn't matter who is coming. So we are not that interested who will be elected on the 31st January. But Kojo, I can tell you, I don't foresee any outright winner in the first round. That one is clear.
So there will be run.
I don't foresee, and the runoff will depend on who will be able to marshal the other candidates to support. So Bawumia saying is going to be an outright winner, and some polls suggesting 70+%. I think that is not going to happen. But as I indicated, our interest and our focus is to continue to support His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to deliver. If we continue along the path we are charting now, whoever NDC we elect in 2027 will hand down a very humiliating defeat to whoever emerges out of the five. But clearly, it's been demonstrated that Bawumia, for 20 years on the limelight, 2 terms as running mate, 2 terms as vice president, and he himself as a candidate, 20 years. One thing is clear, there is integrity deficit in terms of when he promises and whether he delivers or not. And Kwadwo, virtually, it's just semantics. He was shy of stating that obvious, that Bawumia cannot be alive.
Mention my name so that
no, but that's I'm doing your job for you. That's exactly what you said, because you said promises. You said promises were not fulfilled, and who didn't fulfill them? It was when Kwadwo pushed you further that you retreated and said some. But as head of economic management team, and the other thing about Dr. Bawumia that's quite interesting is. You cannot appropriate and reprobate at the same time. You see, you cannot appropriate and reprobate at the same time. When it suits, he says, oh, this one I was in charge. And Kwadwo alluded to that fact that he is the most effective vice president. But when it comes to matters of the economy, he says, oh, I was not in charge. I was not the driver. I was the mate. But in the areas that things went maybe relatively better, he said, oh, I was in charge. And I think this flip-flopping does not depict an honest person with integrity to lead this nation. And that's why Kwadwo and his team are buoyed that they're in the race. But Kwadwo, let me tell you, I just returned from Bono region yesterday. And Brenna Champon is making a lot of inroads over there. Yeah. And the resurgence of Kennedy in recent times is also quite overwhelming. So 2 months to go, Prof said it is quite too early. But for me, I don't see outright winner in the first round. No.
Okay. I would want to make a few comments, if I may.
Okay, just a minute. I need to go to Prof.
Okay, so you see, I can defend Dr. Bawumia as far as his performance as the vice president is concerned. But there's one thing that is clear. It is not about me, Kofi Ameyao. It's about what Ghanaians perceived and what Ghanaians think. Okay?
No, Kwadwo, if his performance is good, because he hasn't been president before to judge him, then based on his good performance as vice, why don't you give him opportunity to? So are you getting the point? Yeah. Because you were saying his performance as vice was good, and he hasn't been president before. Yes. So unless he becomes president, you cannot judge him to make it. So if he's good as vice, then elevate him to become your candidate.
That's not the case. That's not the case. It is not about what I want. It is about what Ghanaians really want. And I'm saying that I can sit here and defend Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia for what he did, okay? But at the end of the day, the decision of Ghanaians were clear in 2024. Regardless of whether he performed well, efficiently or not, he is not the candidate they are looking for. Do you get my point? So that is the contrast here. I can again defend the fact that, of course, we touted him as the economic wizard. Unfortunately, he was not really in charge of the 2 pillars of an economy, which is the fiscal policies and the monetary policies. He was asked to be in charge of the digitalization and formalization of the economy. Okay, that is fair. But to the Ghanaian, we thought you were leading. But unfortunately, February 7th, you told us at UPSA that indeed you were not the actual person in charge. I understand. But the majority of Ghanaians did not.
Was that the case? Why didn't you explain to them?
Oh, we explained. In fact, to me, as far as I'm concerned, I also got to know on February 7th that he wasn't really in charge of the entire.
Then let him be in charge, because he said they should give the steering.
Okay, last point. There's no individual in the New Patriotic Party who has been represented on our presidential ticket more than Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. He has been given his due. He has served the party handsomely, and we have rewarded him handsomely. 2028, all we are saying is that we, the New Patriotic Party, we, the delegates, would want to present a candidate Ghanaians are calling for. Okay. Ghanaians are yearning for. Okay. And that is Kennedy Ohene Japan.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. Prof, you listened to Honorable Dick Chredia and Kofi Amio. I mean, Kofi Amio says that if you look at it, Ghanaians are calling for a certain candidate, which to him is Kennedy Japan. If you listen to Dixon, he says anyone who comes, the NDC will defeat the person. Do you read from where you said that indeed this will be the case, that whoever the MPP elect will not make any difference, the NDC will still win?
Well, it is a contest that is yet to happen. So for me, being a researcher, I will be a bit skeptical on that. I would rather want both the MPP and the NDC to choose their flag bearers, and then we can then look at what they can do. But on the political side, they are politicians, so they will tell you that whoever you bring, we don't mind, we would still win. That's fine. We won't take it from them. But they made cogent analysis on what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has done and has not done. I think the undoing of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not to let the voting populace know the extent of which he preferred solutions that were ignored. For instance, I recently heard that the haircut, he said no, it shouldn't come on, but they went ahead to do the haircuts. And that actually affected their political fortunes. And I also recently heard that he preferred solutions for Galamsey. I'm yet to see those solutions he preferred, which are more feasible. I didn't feel him on that. So,
but is it realistic that as a team player or the second in command, you can come out and say that I did this, but they rejected? You can't say it. Even though probably you did it, you cannot come out and say that I said I won this,
he said,
and they didn't.
But he's currently saying it. Kojo is currently saying that, well, I wasn't in charge.
Yeah.
Even if I wasn't in charge, he started much, much earlier.
Okay.
You are a team. You are a team. You win together, you fail together. You don't approbate and reprobate. You don't say the good things, you did it, and the bad things, you are not part of it.
Yes, that is it.
You saw what Amaya posited, that he is blaming the entire NPP and not an individual. And I think I laud him for that. I laud him for that because you are part of the team. Yeah. So whether the team works or not, you should still be bold and say why it didn't work. But to take yourself out of it, it becomes a bit problematic.
But you just said earlier that you wanted to hear him on that he should have come public to say that I preferred that we did this, but they didn't listen. So now that he thinks he's the one in charge, he has a right to then tell the world that, look, I said we should do so, and they didn't. Not so, because you even said he should have done it earlier.
Yeah, so for me, I think those commentaries should have come earlier, much earlier.
Okay.
And like you know, Kenajipon, for him, he will say it as a test, irrespective of whether it is popular within his party or not. So these are two personalities we are talking about. You understand? So you don't keep quiet. When the team fails, then you say, oh, but I told them, and they didn't listen. You've gotten my argument.
Yeah, I get it.
And so he has gotten himself into this problem because of the way he has conducted himself. But it's early days yet. Like I said, his popularity keeps on dwindling among the delegates in terms of who to vote for. And 2 months down the line is really, really a long time.
Okay.
I don't know whether any new polls will point to a resurgence of he getting that massive support. But like I said, those who are saying that he would be getting 78%, well, I sort of disagree with that assertion. 78% is really, really huge. Even when he was supported by, he was the candidate that was supported favorably by the government. He couldn't even harness that percentage. So for me, I don't think that would be a fair reflection.
Okay, all right. So 2 months ahead of time, we'll see what will happen. As Prof says, the two horse race between Kennedy but Honorable also said that you need to be worried of that. The Brian Achampon ticket is also gaining some massive momentum on the ground.
You see. The case movements, okay, is something that is natural. It's a mystic thing. Nothing can stop it.
The other ones are not natural.
Sometimes I gave you an example of the US and you didn't really want to appreciate.
No, not so, because but I only alerted you to the
at every given time. People will yearn for a particular person to lead them. And we are saying that this time they are calling for Ken. Look, Prof confirmed one of the things that I said here, that there are certain things that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia did or said. I can defend it, but the majority of Ghanaians out there cannot defend it.
Okay.
And they perceive him as somebody who would not deliver on his promises.
But you being an MPP member, yourself are saying this. How about if he is elected flag bearer? How can you come back
I am saying
and
that
convince the Ghanaian that he should?
I convinced.
I'm saying that these things you're saying. If you elect him as a flag, how can you come back and?
I am making the point that when even before the 2024 elections, Ghanaians were making this very same point. Kofi Amia, I was addressing it. Okay, but it wasn't sufficient enough, and the election results bear witness to the fact that my explanation was not enough for them to get convinced. And that same reason still persists up to now. And these are the very things they are saying. So it's not about whether I can always defend whoever we will bring as a candidate of the New Patriotic Party, even if it's Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
After you say something.
No, it's not what I am saying. It's about what others are saying.
Okay.
I can always explain to them why the situation is so. But the decision do not solely rely on me. That is why it is incumbent upon the delegates of the New Patriotic Party to present to Ghanaians an individual they really do find favor with. An individual they trust that when this one he promises there, he will deliver. It's not just in the MPP, but Ghana at large, including even the NDC, who they do not know to bring. Who are you bringing?
Thank you very much. So, Professor Ezekiel Notte is with the Department of Statistics and Actuarial Science, University of Ghana. He has been, or you heard him on the show. Also, Kofi Amia is with the Kennedy Japon team, and then Honorable Dixon Tredia, he's MP for Brekum West. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We'll take a break here on the AM show. We'll be back with more, please. When we come back, Black Stars of Ghana are on show. Stay with us. We'll be back.
should be about it.
The referee's blown for full time in Accra. And the players will show.
Well, those beautiful scenes from Accra Sports Stadium is when Ghana sealed its place at the 2026 World Cup with a hard-fought 1-0 victory over Comoros in their final Group 1 qualifier. The feat makes Otto Addo the first coach to lead Ghana to back-to-back World Cup qualifications, having also masterminded the team's return to the global stage at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Joining us in studio is Fentio Tahiru Fentio, editor of Sports, Dixon Chredia is MP for Brekum, and also is a committee, he's the chairman of one of the committees.
Football Stakeholders Committee.
Football Stakeholders Committee. And he's explained earlier what they do. Also joining us on Zoom is Ibrahim Sani Dara. He's a former communications director of the Ghana Football Association and CAF media officer, someone who really understands football in Ghana and Africa. You know him to have worked at BBC for quite some time, a lot of knowledge there. Said Osman is also a CAF licensed A coach. Good morning to you, gentlemen, on Zoom, and good morning to you in studio as well.
Good morning, Kojo.
Morning.
Vento, let me start from you, because yesterday you brought the game to our ears, back in our homes, and you made it so lively, even though I was not in the stadium, but it felt like I was in the stadium, so kudos for that brilliant work there. But how did it feel like yesterday when you were running commentary on that beautiful game?
I think yesterday the atmosphere was unbelievable. So we have to begin by saying a big thank you to the fans, I think, who recognized the occasion, that this was more than just qualification. It was a celebration of the efforts of the players and the coach and everyone that worked hard to get the team to World Cup qualification. And it was a befitting farewell to the players who might not get to play another game at home until the World Cup. So that is why everybody had to show up there yesterday to make sure that they give them a proper farewell. Because if you look at the FIFA calendar, from now until the World Cup happens, you have AFCON coming up. So there's really no chance for any friendly matches whatsoever, or because there's competitive matches coming. And then after that, you only have one window in March, which will be used as preparatory games for the World Cup. And then you have June, right at the end of the season, when the teams will start to prepare for the World Cup proper. So there isn't a lot of space whatsoever to play any other game. And there are no qualifying matches between now and the World Cup for Ghana to play any competitive game at home. So yesterday was probably, most likely, the last time that the fans would have had to see the Black Stars at home before they went off to the World Cup. And they showed up yesterday. It was an unbelievable atmosphere. You could see the excitement in the fans, the noise, the decibel levels, everyone shouting USA, USA, as if only one country is hosting the World Cup. Nobody was shouting Mexico, and I didn't understand that part. You understand? So, and Otto Addo himself, I think, the fans showed him love because, to be fair, he's being a manager that has come under a lot of pressure, especially after what happened in the AFCON qualification. But credit must be given where it's due. He's turned it around in the World Cup qualifiers. He's won 7 out of 8 matches. He scored 22 goals in those...
23.
No, that's overall. I'm talking about Otto specifically.
Okay.
Because we have scored 1 goal in the first 2.
Okay.
He has supervised 7 victories out of 8. His team scored 22 goals in that process. Remarkable. You may not like the football, but the most fundamental thing was winning and qualifying, and Otto did that. At the post-match press conference, he gave a lot of shout-outs. If you didn't know Otto or you didn't know what was going on, you would have thought it probably was some sort of a farewell press conference, because some of the things that he did there was a little bizarre. He took over 10 minutes to say thank you to people, but it's a reflection of a man that appreciates the journey that's gotten him here. And Sani Dara was one of the people that got a big shout out. I didn't get one.
Then let me bring Sani Dara in there. Sani, so having gotten that big shout out, of course, what are your takeaways from yesterday's game and our qualification entirely?
I think, first of all, let me take the shout out. Congratulations to Otto. Congratulations to the country itself. I should have actually started with the country. But the most important thing was how emphatic we qualified. And if you are to juxtapose what happened in the AFCON qualifiers and how disastrous it was, and for him to have turned it around the way he did, and the players, the management, the authorities, the minister, and then government did, it's nothing but completely praiseworthy. They say, I would say that any complex system is bound to fail at a point, but the speed of recovery is the best measure of an effective system. That shows that Otto Addo was running an effective system, and I've believed in him from day one, because I know what he has done, what he's capable of doing, and when he has the good opportunity of all his best talents available to him, he will be able to pull something fantastic. Look, throughout our qualifying history in Ghana's World Cup qualifiers, we've not had such an impressive outing in qualifying, and this must go all credit to everybody that was involved in the game, particularly the coach, who had, in my opinion, been unfairly targeted, some for sacking, some just to damage his reputation, some calling him a trainer scout and all of those things. And to have ignored all of those things, weathered the storm, and he understands that as a human being, or as somebody working in the football space, particularly in the position that he is, he would face some scrutiny. But the level of scrutiny, even to some point, where a journalist can confront him and tell him that, look, you are not qualified to coach our country, you should leave. It was difficult. And for him to have turned it around, massive congratulations to him.
So Sonny, I mean, from what you know about Ghana's football, you know about what football as well, what must we change as we prepare for the Mundial itself? I've heard people say, well, there's a difference between qualification and playing at the World Cup. What must change?
A lot must change. Number one, our attitude. The attitude is that, we think it's business as usual. It's not business as usual. From today, our preparations for the World Cup must start. And that starts right at the top of government, to the last person, that is us, the supporters of the Ghana national team. We must change our attitude. Things that must be done, promises that are made to the team must be delivered. And when it is delivered, the players must also play their part. Number two, our preparations start from how we begin to monitor our players, how we make the players feel uncomfortable in their positions. And what this came up to, and I saw glimpses of this during our AFCON qualifiers, a lot of our players became so comfortable to the point that they felt, whether they play well or they don't play well, they deserve or they would get a place in the team. I think that must begin to change. And yesterday I saw glimpses of that, particularly with a player like Sibo. If we are to compare what happened in our game against Chad, for example, when we lose balls in the midfield and players pretended as if there was nothing at stake. Nobody will put his leg in there for a tackle. Nobody would want to sacrifice for the country. Yesterday I saw something that changed. And I think that we should continue on that tandem. And then most importantly is to continue to monitor our players. I don't think, in my humble opinion, that we have got a full squad yet. There are many, many positions in the squad. We seem to have a lot of riches on the right wing, lots of players on the right wing, but we are still not settled on a lot of positions. For example, the two wing backs. If there's the need for us to once again go and engage a player like Baba Rahman, we've been uncomfortable with the wing backs. We should work on it. If it is Derek Cohn whose nationality switch has not completed, this is the time to complete it. And all of those players on the periphery of the squad who can come into the squad and make the squad even much more bigger, much more competitive. So the likes of Kudus, Partey, Semenyo, and the rest don't feel comfortable that, look, I'm Thomas Partey, therefore I have an automatic position in the team. I'm Mohamed Kudus, therefore I have an automatic position. We shouldn't let that happen to us. And this is what, took us forward. We've got a lot of young players, some on injury like Niama, Suleimana, Kamaldeen is also coming up strongly. We've got a lot of young players. And I think that this is an opportunity to start putting all those things together. Yes, we've got a #1 goalkeeper in
Asare.
We've got a #1 goalkeeper now in Benjamin Asare, but I still think that we need to do a lot of things in that area so we can improve on the team. It's for the betterment of the team. It's not personal. It's nothing personal. You might have World Cup.
Sonny, your line, I don't know what's happening to the line, but we seem to be losing at the point.
Kojo, if I may just chip in here and ask Sonny a very simple question based on his submission, which I think is a good one, which the submission about continuing to monitor players and trying to beef up the squad. Sonny, what do you make of the chatter about the potential of Eddie Nketiah and Hassan Odoi in particular being added to the team? I mean, you've seen the Black Stars go through several World Cups. You've seen players switch nationalities after we've qualified and all of that in the past. You've seen how those dynamics have played out in the team. What do you make of those two in particular? Yeah.
Hassan Odoi. Yeah.
Our ex-president is several journeys, once, twice, thrice, to engage the parents, the players themselves in the past about the potential of playing for Ghana. Yes, indeed, we want the best, but it comes to a point. Was the so I follow people to
Sonny, you're making a good point, but we still keep losing. I don't know. Maybe our back end should try and reconnect with you.
Okay, now.
Okay, good. So start over. You were making some point. We didn't hear it, but I think that was powerful. So start again for us. Sonny, forgive us. We would have to reconnect with you because we want to have an answer on this. It's quite important because that's a follow-up to something that you brought up. And when he was talking, I was like, okay, will he support that we bring in Eddie Nketiah, who's on fire as well now?
Or Hassan Odoi.
Hassan Odoi. We talked to them for them to switch nationalities and come and play for us. But what do you think yourself?
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters what I think. I think it is essential that for any player that is available and can play for Ghana, it should be in our interest to want the very best players to play for our country. We need to go to the World Cup with the strongest of squads. There is no doubt about that. And if Eddie Nketiah and Hassan Odoi can improve the squad, then we must include them, or then we should include them. So that's one argument, that you take the very best. For anybody that is available to play and is qualified to play and is Ghanaian and can improve the squad, I think they should go. However, there is also an issue of dynamic, because I think Saudi was trying to make that point. It's not the first time that attempts have been made to get them to play for the team. Do you get it?
Okay. So Sani is back, so let's try if we'll get it. Yeah, Sani, I think we've got you back. Yeah, make your point.
Yes, what I was saying is that I was a personal advocate for Kevin Prince Boateng to play for the Black Stars. I spent a lot of my time at that time. I was working at the BBC, working with the FA to ensure that he got his nationality straight. Do you realize that he never played in the AFCON qualifiers? Even when we were to play England in a friendly match and we had an away match at DR Congo, he refused to turn up for that match, but turned up to play for the friendly against England because it was glamorous. And for that reason, I think that we must now attach some level of pride and some level of love for the country if you want to play. If someone wants to play, yes, we must get our best available players for the national team, but they must pass that commitment test. From the examples and what I saw of Kevin Prince Boateng and the commitment of some of the players that have come in from day one, I think for that sole reason, this is not a club side, this is a country. And if you want to play, yes, we want to get a good result, but we must also have pride. People must not take us for granted. Just because you want to play for the World Cup, you choose to play for Ghana, and then afterwards you pick and choose which matches you would want to play for, that I'm not for. So any player that would come must pass first the commitment test to Ghana before we consider those players. For a lot of them, they disrespected our FA officials when they went. Some parents, they won't say this thing publicly, but they'll say a lot of nasty things about Ghana. They'll say, oh, when the player comes to your national team, there's juju. When the player does this thing, the player will get injured. When the player does this thing, you know, it's a difficulty. A lot of the parents of some of these players tell the players this, and these are some of the private conversations I've had with some of these players. And if this is the mentality they are coming into the national team, they are not coming to help us. There are exceptions. Somebody like Inaki Williams said in the past that he will not play for Ghana, but he's proven since he came that he's committed to the cause. He's gone to some of our away matches, played difficult matches, and all of that. He has shown his commitment. What about these young lads? When we were struggling in the AFCON qualifiers and we were still persistently calling on them, they refused to come. And for those that sacrifice and for those who have shown commitment to Ghana, I think that we must work with them. These are the people that will put their feet on their line. Those players are the ones are the ones who declare their careers on the list for Ghana, not met who just come use our platform to make their name then disappear. On point. You see, there are this number of players that can play in a match. Maximum 15 players will start in the match. And most importantly, these days, FIFA pays clubs for their players playing at the World Cup. What are we doing? Are we bringing some of these players? Because some of the players we have mentioned, some would not be able to command start places in our national teams. When people like Semenyo, Pe are there, some of them will not be able to command starting places in our national team. Should we bring them to come and sit on the bench and then the money to clubs? Or we just oppose it? Those that committed to us, those local players who have also got an opportunity to show what they can do. Yeah. And then those fans will come back to domestic football, to come back to Ghana football. These are some gymnastics we must play. We must subject it to a thorough debate and come to a conclusion that these are the players we need that will help us, not today, but in the long-term future.
Okay. All right, Sonny, I'm grateful to you for joining us. I'm told we have to let you go now.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm really grateful.
All right, Sonny.
Stuttgart, good morning. I'm
my brother.
You have a good day.
Thank
you. Thank you.
When he was at BBC, I also had opportunity to do internship, BBC, Africa Sports, and worked with him over there.
Okay.
We've been brothers for over 25 years, 26 years.
Okay.
So,
all right.
And he's a big man.
He's a big man, yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. And in fact, he played a very instrumental role in that opportunity to be in
UK to work with him for, I think, about 2 months. That was a very good experience. BBC.
I mean, Sani is a good man. The only issue is that he's a very mischievous man.
My brother has brought a very important point into perspective.
Yeah.
That going to United States, Canada, and USA, should we be deliberate in bringing about 2, 3, 4, 5 local players to augment the team now that FIFA has funds allocated to clubs, so that these funds will come back into the country to support development of local football? He indicated out of the 23, you'll be sending also
26 now.
26 now. 11 will start, and about 15 will be there. And every match, you have opportunity for 5 substitutions. So there is a possibility that some players will be at the tournament but will not kick football. So maybe 21 based strictly on selection criteria. Then we deliberate, look at maybe 4 or 5 local players who have clearly distinguished themselves. You know, last season our top scorer, Amankona, is there. If he gets opportunity to be with the team, there's opportunity for him to gain experience. And so we should be deliberate in looking at that.
At least it brings revenue to
exactly the revenue teams. Rather than going to the foreign clubs. They do not need that much compared to our local clubs. And there can be special arrangement that whatever comes, you know, the allocation is not for the country, it's for their clubs.
Yes.
So maybe the allocation that comes in will be brought together and distributed to support all clubs.
But
there can be
to their respective clubs.
No. Kojo, that will also bring issues of selection. You know, sometimes there will be issues. You know, we need that money to develop football in general. So there can be maybe a MOU agreement behind the scenes that, 4 or 5 people who will fit the bill and be invited, whatever comes in will be, of course, maybe their respective clubs may get slightly bigger than the other clubs. But I believe if such arrangement, it's early days yet, but I think it's a conversation worth pursuing. And could you first talk about the organization?
So I'll come back to you for us to delve into that. But let's go to the Accra Sports Stadium and listen to what some of the supporters had to tell our men after the game, plus what the coach also said.
Yeah, I'm feeling super excited because it wasn't an easy journey. You see, I couldn't qualify for the AFCON, so there was a lot of pressure on Otto Addo, and he has delivered. He's the first coach to qualify us to back-to-back World Cup, and we are also grateful to him. But I have to give thanks to God for seeing our shooting journey. We are very grateful. We are also grateful to the fans.
In terms of the performance itself, how do you see
it wasn't up to standard, but it will be better. It will be better.
What thing is to stay on? Otto Addo, the problem, the technical team is here. Staff na normal access no. Otto Addo performance, they here no so their qualification or am I? Enti yenhwe. Omo access no na say hu say e was Otto so a fine o say san so a. But to me am gina na there. He say one DJ meet me analyze this here. Mama time. Yeah, Otto Addo I join ho pa. Yeah.
Otto Addo, if you are watching me, you are doing an amazing job. But I think there's more room for improvement. You have to go back to the drawing board and then make sure that you actually deliver what Ghanaians are expecting from you.
Does it mean that you are backing him to stay?
Can you come again?
Are you backing Otto Addo to stay on as the Black Stars?
I mean, based on statistics, I think it's a very great performance. He has won about 6 games. I stand to be corrected. He has won about 6 games and he has drawn 1. I think it's a good performance. Yeah, so based on statistics, I mean, he's been quite impressive.
So you are backing him to take Ghana to the World Cup?
Of course. He has worked really well, and then we need to actually give him, I mean, that support he needs to actually improve, I mean, on his works.
It's amazing. It's amazing. We thank God that since they were you can realize that everybody had a good feeling to support the Blasters. You know, everybody had a good intention to support the Blasters. And if we should assess everything, I think we've done well. With the players Otto Addo had, I think it's good. I think it's good.
So first of all, I'd like to surely thank the Almighty God
for guiding and protecting us. No, it's not about me, it's us. Always us. When we win, it's us. When we lose, it's us. For giving us blessing, for blessing this nation to qualify again for the World Cup. Thanks surely to His Excellency the President Mahama for visiting us, for supporting us throughout. Also thanks for the former President Otto Addo and the Sports Minister Honorable Mustafa Yusuf for supporting us. Thanks for Honorable Sports Minister Adams, Kofi Adams, and all the ministers who came each and every training to visit us, to support us, to push up. To say it very, very simple, we scored more goals because I don't want to go through all the matches, but we had always a lot of chances. Not in all the games, but in most of the games, we were more matured. We were more clinical in our finishes. And still, even those games now, we could have done we scored even more. You know, so I think seems like also the player, and sometimes things take time. They adapted, and there were I think less distractions also about discussions about I don't know, whatever who is captain or numbers. Where me, I don't care about these things, you know. So, but I know it's a big thing here. So
that's Coach Otto Addo there. Now, Said Osman is CAF licensed coach. Let me bring you in, then I come to Honorable. Now, Said, grateful for joining. Now, you are a person with a technical eye. If you watch our games, which areas need improvement ahead of the World Cup? Said, you might want to unmute so we can hear what you are telling us. Okay. So would work on Said's connection so we can have him join us. Yeah, Said, yes, I can hear you now. Said, are you there? Okay, let me come in studio as we work on site link.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, Said.
Good morning. I said I want to say good morning to Sani Dara, my senior brother, and then Stuttgart, MP for Brecum West. You asked a very sensitive question. In actual fact, I want to say that we decide based on data. We don't decide in a vacuum. And the data we have indicate that Otto Addo he's played 8 matches. And out of the 8, he's won 7. And he drew 1. This is a very impressive result by all standards in the world. There are people who believe that the reasons why they believe Otto Addo should still be the coach of the Black Stars are, 1, because we want to push the agenda of Ghana first. He is a former Black Star player who has sacrificed for the team and played for the team. He's shown a lot of solidarity to the team, and then he's also been a typical Ghanaian as well. So these are some of the reasons why people are thinking he should be able to continue with his position, because he's been very impressive with the result. But having said this, we also have people who think that no, Otto Addo lacks a lot that he needs to work on before he would finally be given the mandate to take us to the World Cup. And the other school of thought, the argument is that he's been to the World Cup before. He was in Qatar. They saw his performance. And some of the reasons why they are given for us to re-look at Otto Addo as a coach taking us to the World Cup are, 1, yes, he's given us a very impressive result. But that school of thought is thinking that when it matters, he's not able to take a tactical decision. Example yesterday, the feedbacks some are given is the fact that the time he made the changes, they were expecting to see some positive tactical impact on the game. But unfortunately, they did not see that. And sometimes too, there is a bit of delays. I totally would agree with him. For example, maybe the substitution of Kudus. I mean, maybe we don't know because we were not at the camp. Maybe Kudus had problems. He is not able to play for the 90 minutes. I don't know. You don't know. But he knows. So he decided to sub Kudus at that particular material moment when Kudus was instrumental in the game. Then we would give him that benefit of the doubt. However, like I did indicate, if you want to look at the statistics, we have countries that have employed foreign coaches, giving them a lot of money. They did not qualify them to the World Cup. Otto Addo has qualified us to the World Cup. Impressive. 8 matches, 7 wins, 1 draw. That is impressive. However, like I indicated, there are people who also think that Otto Addo needs to work on his tactical decision making and then make sure that he does not give the same performance he gave when he was at Qatar in the last World Cup.
All right. So which do you belong to? Retained and probably help to improve technically, or we should get a new one?
Absolutely, based on the result we have, it will be suicidal to get a new one entirely.
Okay.
I mean, we need to retain and work on what we need to work on as a country because the result is too impressive to be rejected.
All right. Saeed, I'm grateful to you for your input this morning. Saeed is, a CAF licensed A coach. So you are making a point. He's made this point that we should retain and probably help improve. You're making a point earlier.
Because I've said that over and over and over, that he's delivered for us, not for the first time. This is the second time he's taken us to the World Cup. And I agree with Osman. Clearly, there is room for improvement in various aspects. For instance, sometimes he's overly cautious. In our game against Mali, he was overly cautious. Yesterday, the same, he was overly cautious. And he also talked about sometimes delay in taking certain decisions. These are areas he can improve. And I'm also expecting some improvement on his charisma on the touchline. He has to be a little bit more charismatic and inspire confidence. So we should give him a chance. And I'm very confident he will improve. He will learn. He has a lot of time. I indicated earlier on that the qualifiers, you have no briefing space at all. No time for experimentation. So against Mali, after the match, I engaged him. And he said, that was very critical point. That his first option is that he is not going to concede. If it had been draw, still Ghana would continue to be on top, or still be in contention. But once we concede, so with that mentality, you see that the team is not playing well. But he was very compact at the back and at the middle, not moving forward. And when you are playing at home with the fans behind you, they want to see a lot of action. Fluidity. And when they don't see it, then people become a bit frustrated. But I've already indicated it's a very, very good coach. Some people say lack.
But that's a good explanation, right?
Yeah.
That you're playing against Mali. When you draw, you're on top.
You are still on top. When you concede, then your chances. And yesterday, he knew a draw is safe, so to put us on top, to qualify automatically. If you concede, even though you don't know what will happen elsewhere, it's unlikely.
He didn't want
unlikely. The 8-goal difference will be overturned and all those things. But he wanted to be sure we don't lose this particular. You could have lost and still qualify. But he was very, very cautious. And in such situations, you won't see the best out of the boys. And I've indicated, the qualifiers are different because you have no time to prepare the team. Fent talk about the tight calendar ahead. But the good thing for us is because we are not going to AFCON, we will have time.
Problem is that during the AFCON time, so you can't get the players.
It's not international window. Yeah, it's not international window.
So you can't get the players.
We have a lot of time. He can visit the players and their clubs, get to know them very well. So 8 months, I think, is good time for him to change a lot of things. But during the qualification stage, the focus and the mentality was to get Ghana across the line. And now that he's done that, I think we should give him a little more chance. And Sunny raised another important point about people who should be invited and those who should not. Commitment, dedication, and patriotism are key indicators. People should not be invited for because we've qualified for World Cup, but people who have demonstrated their commitment and love for the country, irrespective of where they are playing, they should be given opportunity. But I've indicated my preference that they should be deliberate effort to include as many local players as possible.
Sure.
And could you let me touch briefly
just 30 seconds
on the people, they're congratulating people. And you know, His Excellency John Dramani Mahai's contribution has been underestimated, but I think it should be amplified. You know, I was a spokesperson for our national campaign, sports. And when he told us that he was going to decouple sports from youth, many of us were wondering how possible, especially on the back of cutting the ministries from 30 to 23. He did that and appointed Honorable Kofi Adams. When he appointed, many people were saying he's not a sports person, but the sterling leadership of Kofi Adams, see where it's taking us to. So, President Mahama should be given a lot of credit.
Thank you
for this.
Before we go, Obi, I mean, what are you expecting to happen between now and the Mondial itself?
I think 8 months is a long time. We need to prepare well. One thing that has been obvious from how we turned around an abysmal AFCON qualifying campaign to a stellar World Cup qualifying campaign is what the GFA and everyone did to the backroom staff after the AFCON debacle. They beefed up the backroom staff by bringing 5 additional people. They added a psychologist, a new analyst, they added a technical advisor, because they recognized that Otto Addo needed help and they gave him the help. If we are going to retain Otto Addo, I think we need to do even more, because the modern game has changed. It has evolved so much so that the bigger teams now would have backroom staff of not less than 15 people. It's a huge number with dedicated assignments for everybody. That's what we need to do. We can't just, look, 5 people in the backroom staff is no longer enough. Even 10 people might not seem enough in the modern game, and especially for a tournament as critical as the World Cup. In order to optimize our performances and give the team the best conditions to perform, we need to beef up that technical backroom staff if we are going to retain Otto Addo. Because it doesn't matter who we bring. The issue is this. Look, for all those that want Otto Addo gone and a new manager in, can Ghana afford the best managers in the world? Those who are available and can potentially take Ghana far in the tournament. Can we afford? Otto Addo takes $50,000 a month and people are crying. The best coaches will not take less than $200,000 a month. Is Ghana ready to commit that much resources into the appointment of a coach to go to the World Cup with no guarantees of what the outcome could be? That's the issue. And also, forget about even the salary of the head coach himself. Any coach worth his salt, when he's coming, he's bringing his entire backroom staff. That is what will also come with financial liability. So we need to decide what we want as a country. If we want to play this piss-poor attitude, then Otto Addo is our level. And we just need to support him and take him to the World Cup. If you want to be a big boy, then pay out the big bucks.
All right. Fentio, Tahiro Fentio is editor, Joy Sports. Thank you for coming. Dixon Chiredia, MP for Brecum West, is the chairman, Football Stakeholders Committee of the GFA. Ibrahim Sani Dara is a former communications director of the Ghana Football Association, and also CAF Media Officer, and Said Osman is CAF License A coach. This has been big stories here on the AM show. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more. Please do stay.
Welcome back to the show. You're watching the AM show. And guess what? The EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is nearly here. And I don't want you to miss out on all of the good news that may happen. It's from the 23rd day of October to 26th. And joining me in studio is Morgan Kwabete, sales consultant at Automation Ghana. And also Ruth Amwa, sales manager. You find her at Special Gardens. And as well, Frida Osei Ampofo, marketer. Marketing manager, Special Gardens, joining us in studio to tell us about their product and services. And of course, Morgan, you understand that ladies first, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know Ruth, you know Frida, but let me go to Ruth. Ruth, tell me a little bit about Special Gardens. We've heard it, but I want to hear from the horse's own mouth.
Okay, so my name is Ruth Amwa, sales manager at Special Gardens. Good morning to our lovely clients who are tuning in to listen to us. Okay, so Special Gardens is a 20-acre gated community located in Oyarefa. It's about 2 minutes from the Adenta barrier. So we are dedicated to building modern, secure, and sustainable homes that meet the needs of today's families in Ghana and abroad. Our brand is trusted because we combine high-quality construction with excellent customer service, innovative features like energy efficiency, and family-friendly layouts.
Okay.
So I know with Special Gardens, clients are not just buying homes, they are buying into a community and a lifestyle. Yes.
That's really nice. And this gated community as well. Please. Okay. Frida, I'll come to you, but let me come to Morgan. Morgan, tell me about Automation Ghana.
Okay, thank you. Good morning to our lovely viewers. So Automation Ghana is an electrical engineering company that's been working in Ghana for over 20 years. We've been delivering, as our name suggests, automation solutions. We started from the industrial sector, so where you go to factories, the machines that are working, where are the brains behind it. And we are bringing these solutions into homes. So we have what we call the smart home solutions, where you can automate your gadgets in your home, starting from your lights, your ACs, your curtains, a whole lot. And this is to give you that luxury feel to your home. So your home is not just a building with a number of gadgets inside, but it behaves like a human being. It interacts with you, and it's very luxurious and comfort.
Yeah, just bringing us some comfort, right, in this our chaotic lives. All right, that's good to know. But Frida, so I know that if you're en route to Oyarefa, or if you drive past and you wanted to go for a run on the mountains and all of that, Special Gardens, you will not miss it. It is quite visible. But one will be wondering, why do you still have to be part of the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair anyway?
Okay, so the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is a platform that connects us directly to home buyers, investors, and industry partners. Our sponsorship is a commitment to making home ownership accessible and promoting industry players.
More like accessibility. You just found the EcoBank Habitat Fair a good stop shop for most of your customers as well, for those who are looking to get very luxurious home like yours, gated communities and all of that. You found the platform quite strategic. It aligns with the kind of business you like to do, right?
It also aligns with our mission of promoting or empowering families and professionals to invest in secure, well-gated communities.
That's excellent, Frida. That's quite excellent. But for you, Morgan, automation there, everybody wants some comfort and all of that. And for 20 years, I'm wondering what you're doing on the Joy News Habitat Fair.
All right, so for the Joy News Habitat Fair, we'll be exhibiting even a model of our smart home solution. So you get to experience this live for yourself and see how it works, and even be able to visualize how it's going to work in your home. We also have our sales consultants. I'll be there myself. That is, we are going to guide you through making certain decisions. So how, say, the cost to implement a smart home solution, what you need and all that. We'll do all of that consultation for free. We are also, in this day and age of AI and technology being more sophisticated, we want people to get access to, or even get to know that this solution exists. People think that it solely exists in the outside world, But here in Ghana, we are doing it and people are having this solution for themselves. So we are inviting all people watching us to visit our booth and experience this solution for themselves so that they can also invest in it and have very nice homes for themselves.
Okay. When I come back to you, because it is a fair, and I like to carry the good news, I like to think you're giving some good news, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the last time I had a conversation with one of your colleagues here, there was supposed to be some 800 Ghana cedis deal that if you paid, you get something, right?
Yeah.
We'll get into it. I like that woof for my people. But Ruth, tell me, for this year at the Habitat Fair, purchasing a home is a decision that any person would have to go through very tall stages before they arrive at it. But how easy or how comfortable are you making it for people who come to the EcoBank Habitat Fair as well?
Okay, so first of all, we'll be showcasing our 20-acre gated community. We have a model of it that will be showcased.
I was wondering, are you carrying it from Boyarifa?
So we have a model of special gardens.
Okay.
That's featuring the 247 townhomes we have. So the 247 homes include the semi-detached and detached homes. The detached are 4 bedrooms, and we have 3 bedrooms semi-detached as well, and we have 2-bedroom terrace townhomes, and we also have 1 and 2 bedroom condos or apartments.
Okay.
So our prices start from 1.4 million Ghana cedis to about 3 million Ghana cedis. And we also have a flexible payment plan of about 18 months, which is also interest-free. So you're not going to pay any interest on it.
Oh, that's the
So we are going to have 18 months payment plan for like new clients who want to purchase special gardens.
Okay.
And it doesn't come with any interest at all. So it's interest-free.
Oh, I like how you reiterated it. I like it. I like it when the cost is down. So, interest-free. You're not charging in dollars too?
So
or you like it in dollars?
In cedis, please.
Okay, that's nice. It's something we want to hear. Okay, Frida, when I come to you, of course, there are expectations, right? Ghanaians would want to, beyond the fair, more expectations. When I come to you, that's what we're gonna get into. But Morgan, that 800 Ghana cedis deal, is it still there? Or you've changed your mind?
Oh, no.
Okay.
It's still there. So there's a leak detection system where when, say, if you mistakenly leave your tap on and it's flowing, as soon as the sensor senses that there's a leak, it will trip, it will cut store the water supply, thereby saving you. So this is a safety feature. And we also have other safety features that's integrating CCTV systems into your home. You know, for the typical CCTV system, when it's just see someone, the person will do what to do and just go away. And we have to just rely on the footage. But this one, we have intrusion detection systems that can even trigger alarms, call the Ghana police, turn on your lights, you know, like a whole lot.
As in, like you're sitting here all day to turn on your light or what?
Yes, so, you know, one thing that scares off is that presence when we are home. So, for instance, I know people when they are traveling, they have to maybe leave their lights on. They even know that you are not around. So, but when the home behaves as if you are there, that's in the evening, the lights come on, in the morning they go back off, you know, they think that there's someone there. So it serves as a deterrent when you are not there. And it also helps you to monitor your home remotely from anywhere in the world. You can even control, even if you forget to turn on something, you can control it there, wherever that you are. So it's not just when you are home that you are feeling the comfort, but when you are even away, you are still having that access to your home.
Okay. Frida, before we even get into the expectations, as of now, if anybody is watching us, can you just walk to Special Gardens, say you want to view, is there any special arrangement you have to do, or Ruth will take that? Okay.
At the fair, clients can visit our stand for one-on-one engagements or consultations in their home buying process. And then when they come, we have a Tesla that can take them to our site.
As in like?
Tesla, electric vehicle.
As in Tesla?
Yes, please.
Hey,
so I have to say something. I didn't talk about that. So some amenities at Special Gardens are the clubhouse, the luxury green spaces, electric vehicle charging station. So if you have an electric car, not just Tesla, you can charge your vehicle in the community.
Okay.
And also, I didn't talk about the offer. So for Special Gardens, we are offering 100,000 cedis off for our buyers, our new clients. Yes.
As in like 10,000, back 10.
Yes, 100,000 cedis off.
Off?
Yes.
Okay, this is for outright purchase, right?
No,
like
initial deposit is 20%, and we spread the rest for about 18 months.
I see. So you get to still enjoy the offer.
Yes, please.
The 100,000 off.
Yes,
like.
Yes, please.
That's nice.
Also, we have this new project coming up called the E-Towers, which is located in East Legon. So the E-Towers is also a high-rise apartment located at Lagos Avenue, which is tailored for young professionals and investors because they are mostly studios and apartments. So they are also starting from 1 million Ghana cedis to about 3 million Ghana cedis. And if anyone is interested in E-Towers, they also get 50,000 cedis off when they are going to make a purchase.
I see. This is true, Frida, because I think your colleague, the gentleman and then the lady, I've forgotten their name, when they came earlier, there was a special invitation for me to come along because I was going to get a ride in the Tesla to go and view. So, thank you that it's still there. But yeah. Frida, let me in beyond the coming to the fair and having to engage, consult, and even riding in a Tesla and all. Today, as we speak, before 23rd, somebody is watching us and they say, really, I want to go ahead and go and view, I want to do can they still do that?
Yeah.
They can?
They have a walk-in tour.
Okay.
Yes, we can just come in and then we take you around.
Okay. And that will be at the office, the same office?
Yes. So they can also visit our social media pages. So on Instagram is Special Gardens GH, on Facebook is Special Gardens, and our website is www.specialgardensltd.com.
Okay. Also,
when they want to call us, our Ghana number is 020-138-1234 and 059-157-4157. Okay, so US number, sorry.
Okay, whilst you fetch the
US number.
You fetch it, and then Frida will tell me, what should Ghanaians expect? I mean, beyond this homeowners, home builders and all of that, what should we expect from Special Gardens?
Okay, so as we all know, Special Homes Limited, we are always ready to lead the way. And our next chapter is E-Towers, like my colleague boldly said. It's a development that brings together smart living, modern luxury, energy efficient design. It is where we say technology meets timeless style. And it's built for forward-thinking professionals who are ready to invest in any property. Okay, you found the number?
Yes, so I want to go over the numbers again. Okay. So our Ghana number, 020-138-1234, 059-691-4157. And the US number is +1240-447-3024. And our website is www.specialhomesltd.com. Okay. Social media at Special Gardens GH.
Okay. Please do share a drink in the Tesla. Will you give me a drink?
Oh, yes. We have specialized water and special drinks.
Okay.
That's really cool.
So like I was saying, as we know Special Gardens, we bring you the best and affordable homes. So we promise to provide architectural excellence, thoughtful community planning, spaces to celebrate lifestyle and purpose. So we are not just thinking about building for today, we are also building for the future. And we invite you to all come and take the journey with us.
That's amazing. Morgan, you also want to tell us beyond the fair, you know, how people can find you.
Okay, so you can locate us on the Spinters Road, Bachuna, behind Cowbank. We have our showroom that we have this smart home system that you can sit in like a space like this and actually have a feel of it. I think you should visit us and experience it.
I will.
And you can call us on the following numbers, 0202 026 709, 0202 026 709, and 055 00 511.
Okay.
So, and you can also follow us on our social media handles. On Instagram, you can find us Automation GH, and also LinkedIn, same Automation Ghana. Then on Facebook, Automation GH.
Okay, Ruth, I'll take your final words before we wrap the conversation. Final words, invitation for them to come to your stand. Will you both be there yourself?
Yes, please.
I'll be looking out for both of you.
Yes.
Okay.
So we are inviting all new home buyers or clients who just want to come and see what they have in order to make a decision. And then we are still going with our discounts, which is 100,000 cedis off for those interested in special gardens and 50,000 cedis off for those interested in our apartment in East Legon. So we are hoping to see you guys there on the 23rd to 26th of October 2025, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily.
Ah, you actually just did my job for me, and that's really cute. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Frida, and thank you, Morgan. We shall see you at the fair.
Sure.
Please watch this more on the show. And I'll take you to the Ministry of Health, where the minister in charge of health is addressing the media on a number of issues, including unpaid salaries.
Also didn't have clearance as far as their rotation was concerned. By the grace of God, we have secured clearance for these more than 17,000 health professionals. That was not the only thing. There were issues about conditions of service. You've heard them before. And so we had to onboard them gradually, because you'll agree with me that we also have a country to govern. Ladies and gentlemen, as I speak to you now, that about 6,500, that will add up to the 7,000 already being paid, making 13,500. That allowance, that's over 6,000. Cabinet has approved that with immediate effect, starting from November, the Minister for Finance must pay them. And I have in my hand the letter to that effect. And so these were the difficulties. I empathize with anybody who had to go through this painful situation. And it is important for Ghanaians to be taken along. And so I think at this point, I will want to pause here. If you have any clarity to seek, I will do that accordingly. I thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, so members of the media, the Honorable Minister is all set for you. If you have some questions begging for answers, you want to seek some clarifications, he's all ears.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. I am in the person of Stephen Kwajotichia, the convener for the Coalition of Unpaid Nurses and Midwives. And I commend you and your high office for this prompt intervention of our situation. And I stand on my leadership and the entire membership to commend you and say a very big thank you. We need this clarification from your office. The statement you made that Cabinet has approved that by November we should be paid. We want to know the modalities of the payment. Is it everyone who is going to be paid in November, or the payment is going to start in November? And when is it going to finish that everyone is going to be paid? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, thank you so much for the great work. My name is Reverend Daniel Sanawiti. I'm the Executive Secretary of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana. And so, of course, my question will boil down on pharmacies. Currently, we have about 640 plus pharmacy graduates, pharmacy graduates who wrote a professional national exams in 2024, and I've been placed on the provisional pharmacy register, awaiting their 1-year housemanship, after which
Now let's do some celebration here on the show. Welcome back. This is the AM show. Now, the University of Energy and Natural Resources overall champion of Ghana University Debate Championship in Accra on Saturday. That was just some days ago. And a little bit about the University of Energy and Natural Resources Forensic Society. Now, they won both the main and novice debate category, and out of 12 universities debate championship involving 53 teams from 14 leading institutions. And I've got both the winning team, I've got the patron, and I've also got an alumni of the university as well joining us here in studio. Congratulations, Karen.
Thank you.
All right, so let me go to you and how the experience has been so far. First question I always ask people who win something, did you think you'll win? There are some people who are genuine saying that, I didn't think I would win, but I won. What's your story?
Genuinely, we didn't think we would win.
Ah, okay.
And that was because when you look at the number of teams and schools that were presented, it was as if they were dominating, and they were so good. Over the years, they had won so many trophies, and it seemed as if we didn't even stand a chance at all. However, we still fought amidst we were resilient amidst the tension that we faced, and that was how come we were able to win. Okay, well, Karen, Nana Ekwia Ejewa, BSc Information Technology Level 300 student, who is part of the winning team. I've got James Clark Hayford, Institutional Advancement and Alumni Relations Officer at the University of Energy and Natural Resources. And of course, I've got Dr. Cosmos Rai Amenovi, patron, University of Energy and Natural Resources Forensic Society, and senior lecturer, Department of Languages and General Studies as well at the University of Energy and Natural Resources. Karen, I'll stay with you. Is it that you were selected or you elected yourself to be part of this debate? Walk me through the process and how you won. I see your patron is here. Yeah.
It's a lecture of languages. He'll be marking you.
So you don't have to be selected. That is the beautiful thing about the United Forensic Society. You just have to show commitment to our team, and that is how come you are part of the process. That's how you are selected. So with consistency in the team, that is how come we're able to register our school to take part in the Ghana University Debate Championship. And he well approved of all those that represented our school.
Very well. Congratulations again, and more especially a woman. So I'm especially elated this morning. But I will jump you, James, and come to the patron. I mean, as a lecturer and as well a patron for this particular competition, did you envisage that for a young girl like that and for your school as well, you're going to, when I hear about the school, it's all about energy, energy, energy. But to think of debate, I won't think that you'd win. How has it been for you?
Well, that's a wonderful question. The reason actually is that we let the students know that it's not just about academic work. And we've been doing very well, exceptionally well in debate and public speaking. And actually in 2021, during the COVID time, we won the world best speaker world, actually. Because it was COVID, it wasn't so much enjoyed by many people, but that's a reality. And we've been doing so well nationally and even in West Africa. So even though it's energy and natural resources, students are aware that apart from academic work, you have to be part of the university through and through. Extracurricular activities help us to do very well. So some could come from energy, IT, mathematics, it doesn't matter. So do I believe that they could win? Yes, I do. I do. I will always believe that they could win because we've been doing so well. It doesn't matter the name of the institution or how young or how old, but about the crop of students we have who are dedicated towards achieving something.
And so far, what has this brought the university, and what has this university as well contributed to the bigger picture of debating, public speaking?
The Vice-Chancellor, the management, they love the society because it advertises us that we are not just energy and natural resources, but if whatever expertise that a candidate or a student or a lecturer has, if you're able to communicate very well, think critically on your feet, reason, articulate your thoughts very clearly, you add to your area of expertise. So that shows that we are not just engineers, technologians, as we call ourselves, but we are more than that. We can talk, we can reason, we can think critically, because this country needs critical minds. And if we have young minds doing such things, it's good for us all.
I totally agree with you, Doc. I'd go to James. So for the alumni, what role do you play towards the achievement of all of this?
Thank you very much. I'm super pleased and excited with this remarkable achievement. And the good news is that, look at our university. The name is University of Energy and Natural Resources. But I tell people that our university globally is known as Academic Center of Excellence, where we provide accessible, affordable, and higher quality education. These are students from engineering background, computer science background, and yet, on record, when it comes to debate championship in Ghana, we do very well. You need to discover our university. And I tell you that quality of teaching and academic industrial experience, we have it all. And our management, from the Vice Chancellor, Professor Iwisa Sabedi-Ako, who was a judge last year, not coincidentally, but I believe that he deserved it as the most outstanding public university vice chancellor in Ghana. Right. It tells you what we are doing right in Sunyani. So for us, as a university, we believe that we can change the destiny of the Ghanaian child through public speaking. That is what we do. Our project, the terms, and you need to discover this university. Okay. Because I tell you that the university established in the year 2011 and 2012, Saturday, 17th November 2012, we started 154 students. Today, we have more than 16,000 students.
16,000?
16,000. 16,000. 16K. It tells you what we are doing as a university. Across the country, people would want to come to the University of Energy. We are in Sunyani, and I tell them that for us, our place is known as a home. There's a cliche. You know it's a home. Why do we say that? It comes to debate. The Vice Chancellor is in town. He has already met the student. The MP for the area, Honorable Mr. Mankwayabo, have met the students already. It tells you how we connect the student to the most influential people in our community. We believe that as a Ghanaian, I believe that a Ghanaian child is gifted and divinely talented. What you need is a right mix of environment, exposure, and experience. And the University of Energy gives you that platform to distinguish yourself, that I can do it. She's a proud IT student. She's here as a winner. Yeah. Don't forget that there were two categories for the debate. Okay. We had the main category and the novice category. And there were 54 teams. The other university, I don't want to mention their name and give them a lot of leverage. They presented as many as 11, 13 teams. We presented only 2 teams because of budget constraints. We couldn't bring a lot of, yes. And the 2 went to the final and won both categories.
And won both categories. Yes. Doc, I think you're doing a great job, because for an alumni, he definitely is demonstrating good public speaking right here. Exactly. Well, okay, so Karen, I mean, your senior here doesn't want to mention the name of the university. At least we give them mileage. But for you, which one of the universities gave you tough time?
I would say the University of Ghana and Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And it's interesting to know that all teams presented from these schools are not only good in public speaking, but also in critical thinking. And that's told us that we have to up our game, because the people we are competing against did not come to play at all.
I can see that.
And that exposure also told us the value in competition and how tough competition can be. And it requires that you prove yourself to a level.
Let me in your preparation a bit. Let me in. What kind of preparation? How many are you in the team?
We were 3. We had 2 people in one team. Okay. 2 students in one team, and we had 3 teams representing our school. Okay. And 2 of them won both trophies.
How many of you were ladies?
There were for the winning team. For the winning team, I was the only lady in the team. So that also gives me a level of exposure to what it takes to be a woman in some kind of field. And I must commend you there, because there's no level of segregation with regard to being a woman in a team.
Okay. Yeah. I'd come to you, Doc, as a patron, do you find the women quite interested in such activities in school?
Yes, most of for example, interestingly, that there were 2 different championships. The national one that had this team going, and also the other one is organized by the insurance companies. And we presented level 100 students at the other side in Kumasi, and 3 of them, all level 100, girls, ladies. And our team did well, even level 100, and they did up they qualified to the semi-final stage. Okay. And so when it comes to male, female, it doesn't matter for us. Everybody is equal. And once they show interest, they are there, as you can see. And as you could even hear of the other ones.
Karen, how are you working on campus? Show us. Like this,
it just shows that there's much more to do. I like to quote that proverb that says that to whom much is given, much is expected.
Sure.
So I don't really see this as an overall praise. I see this as a level of expectation to do more and for greater heights.
What are your aspirations in life? Where do you hope to take this to?
I want to make a change in the legal field, especially with women infiltration, and I think that it requires public speaking and also critical thinking, and that is what the debate exposure gives you to make a change with regard to legal ethics and also advocacy in the country. And UNE is giving me the basis and the background to do that as well.
Congratulations on your thoughts only. But Doc, what's the future like for the institution?
The future for the institution is a bright one. Being young, vibrant, about 12 or 13 years old, and achieving what we have achieved shows that we have a long way to go, and it's bright. And this is to let the world, Ghana, know that young ones, when you want to think of a university, think of UNE. And not only are you going to get good in your area of expertise, but you're going to learn to be able to think, reason. And in the world today, it's all critical thinking. The competition is so high. And to major in an area and be able to communicate, as I said earlier, is a plus. So we are training students in their areas as well as to be able to speak, think, reason, and do things for the future to help themselves and the country.
What are you doing to retain this, James?
Before we proceed, I feel that there's incredible thing about these debaters. Normally for the University of Energy, the policy is that every child deserves to go to the university. And so we do not concentrate so much on what they call competitive cut-off points. When I left secondary school in the year 1999, I could not speak English. Today, what am I doing? I can speak simple English.
Well, that's not simple English there.
And I went to Mozano Senior High School in the Central Region. I was telling the sector minister who is doing so well, Honorable Haruna Indusu, doing so well that this university is prepared and positioned. Today in Ghana, there are two topical issues, energy and natural resources. When you talk about your famous Galamsey. On record, people don't know this, and I think we need to amplify it. We are the only university in Ghana that is reputed for organizing what we call the transmissional dialogue every year. Last year, guess who we brought? On the 8th of May, the then vice president was in Sunyani. Then our current president came on the 15th. And on the 16th, the speaker of Ghanaian parliament was there. We are able to change the space in terms of training the next aspect of people in the mining and energy sector industry. In Ghana, we dominate predominantly. There are things about us people don't know about this university. In Ghana, on record, we are the only university in Africa, what they call the carbon tower monitoring flags. There's some 9 in any university. I don't know the university you attended. But I want you to know on record that we are the only one with it. It is reputed for measuring carbon emission in our ecosystem. Which of the university have it? Apart from that,
you must be training some energies as well.
Yeah, we have a lot.
Well, I'm certain that we can go on and on and on. Today, we're dedicating it to celebrating Karen and her team, celebrating you as well, the patron. It tells how much work you've put into this and the institution as well. I'll leave the few seconds with you or for you to at least invite people to, maybe I should take my university again. Yeah. Maybe do it at UNE. But yeah, you can as well invite people as well to come and have at least their degrees. Or what other levels do you also run in the school?
All the way to PhD.
Thank you. Yeah, you can as well invite people to make it their choice.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
So thank you very much. Look for this university by name, University of Energy and Natural Resources. I was saying that the reason why you ought to study with us is that in Ghana, we have a center by name Earth Observation Research Innovation Center. This center is so unique. If you check the calendar for August 2024, for the month of July and August, has been dedicated to this university. It tells you we work closely with all the agencies. And for us, we train students to be very vocal. As you can see from here, I'm trying to speak. And so when you come, you are trained to be globally competitive. You can fit anywhere in the industry. If I tell you the program I study, you'll be amazed. That's what the University of Energy does to you. Even as a staff, I'm supposed to be trained to speak very well. How much more about the students? So thank you very much for this opportunity. I hope and pray that we continue to work together and trumpet the record of this university for the people of Ghana and Africa. Guess what? There's one center in Sunyani. We call it Regional Center for Energy and Environmental Sustainability. There are 8 centers across the African sub-region. In Ghana, we have 8 of them here. You know how that one. And when it comes to energy in Ghana, we are the only university of energy and natural resources, not only in Ghana, but in Africa.
Thank you.
This is the president.
But for carrying out, I've sent you an invoice. But thank you so much, Dr. Cosmas Raya Amenovi, patron, UNAIR Forensic Society, and senior lecturer as well, Department of Languages and General Studies at UNAIR. And as well, we've just been engaging James Clark here for Institutional Advancement and Alumni Relations Officer, UNAIR. And of course, one of the celebrants or the award receivers, Karen Nana Ekua Ejewa. She's studying information technology and she's in level 300. Congratulations to you and your team and to the school. But this is how we wrap the show here this morning. I'm MFA Akosi Adeti. Earlier, the Hunter Pele was on. We'll see you tomorrow, but do stay for Joy News Next with Mamiesi Nyameche Thompson.